Hello? Hello. Hey everybody, happy Monday. Welcome to the start of another week as we kick off things here on a bank holiday Monday. Yeah, baby. And well, tonight we have our first group flying on VATSIM. What a transition, right? This is part 9 of our ATC course. And I'm terribly harsh. I don't know what's happening. Hang on, shh. We'll fix this now, lads. Why did the lights not do the thing? Shh, it's fine. It's fine. Wait now. Oh, Jesus. Now that, right. If I do a bit of that with a bit of this, now that looks more pasty. Happy the Jesus. Right. Don't even look at it, Murph. How are you? Hope you're all keeping very well. Tonight, yes, friends, our Group A pilots, which have been announced over on the website, well, these guys tonight are going to transition on the VATSIM network. And, well, everything that we've covered over the last 8 weeks or so, well, tonight, it's their night. The Group B pilots, also mentioned over on our website, well, this is our last rehearsal session training. Let's figure it out for next week. And then all of us will transition over to VATSIM as well. So tonight, what we're going to do, I'm going to chat to you about vPilot, getting yourselves connected to your client with VATSIM. We'll talk a little bit on the model matching. We're going to...
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ah, Jesus, that's brilliant. Jesus. Brilliant, right? But yeah, so we're going to go through vPilot, some model matching, a couple of do's and don'ts in and around the area, just kind of the last minute little kind of, do you know what I mean? Flight planning and filing and all this sort of jazz. We'll spend a few minutes on it. Then we're going to eavesdrop in on what the Group A pilots are going to do. I'm going to connect in a English Murph, an observer mode, right? And we'll have a listen to how the lads are getting on. Then the Group B pilots, well, we're going to do the same flight on our own network. And well, tonight's the night to kind of iron out any issues that might still be there. And we'll try and work on this together. We do have very sufficient. We have a lot of VATSIM coverage tonight that I can see online. We have, well, there's ATC in Dublin, there's Shannon Control, and there's also Shannon Approach. So it looks like ATC shall be with us for the entirety of our flight tonight, which is pretty awesome, lads, right? Brilliant news. So, into the chat we dwell, and then we're going to jump straight into it. Do you know what I mean? Super Typhon, welcome in. Willow, how much is here? Stick Figure, happy Monday. Airlock Doc is in the house. Yeah, baby. Gibbo Ireland is here. Sure, right. We're doing the thing, Gibbo. David Bay, welcome aboard. Quaggy is here. Naughty Gnome, good to see you, man. PH Roy, very best of luck, everyone, and all the students. Best of luck today. Indeed, indeed. Airlock Doc subscribing for 25 months. Tier 1. Thank you very much indeed. He says 25 months. What are the chances of getting a ring before Mrs. Two-Tone gets a new kitchen? Right? Let's just be fine. Sterling is in the house. Salve, Fireflies. Hope you're keeping well, my dude. Max Lightweight has rambled in with a Prime subscription for 3 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Insane generosity. Viper Strike is in the house. Good to see you. Currently in Victoria. Nice, man. Englewood Online is in that chat. Happy Monday. Neo is here. Spitfire RAF 100. Good to see you, man. Rambach Mord is here as well. Jeez. We're all drinking stiff drinks. We're all, yeah, I said that right. Imagine if I got that one wrong. God almighty. Rambo, good to see you, man. Martel is in the house. Welcome aboard. Old Veteran 965. He says no, he doesn't. He says, howdy y'all. Happy Monday. Ready for shenanigans? We'll see you out there. Radar contact, as we say in the States. They don't use identified. Don't worry about all of that. It'll be grand. Soaring AJH, man. Hope you're well. 98 Vulcan is in the house. Welcome in. Hemmingbird says, today I lost count of the amount of cattle I had. Luckily, I was able to use my calculator. Sorry, you must be getting deja moo. Very good. Well, how much? Thank you for the bits. Cheers, man. Elf is here. Wish I caught this course at the very beginning. Good luck to everyone tonight. Well, Elf, just read back through it, you know. Everything's there. All the content is here on YouTube as well for anyone. If you've missed out, right? Well, the ground school document is there. All the videos are there, start to finish, the whole shebang. Even me, right? I'm there in the past. Do you know? Jesus, there's things happening. Eamon, 1973 is here. He goes, Darren, I missed the cut-off register for the thing. Beyond ATC, it is to get up to speed. Nice. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. Good to see you, man. Now, let me see. Naughty Gnome, that was brilliant. Now, Toto is in the house. Welcome in. Jesus. Admiral Needer. Hello. Good to see you. Muse fan bursts in the door saying how he is his man jokes is. Happy Monday, my dude. Hope you're well. I must not understand this leaderboard thing. It's there to confuse you. If you're confused, well, then it's working. And I don't know how to use it either, so don't ask me. It does its own thing. We are all slaves. Slaves to the leaderboard. B. Carlo, good to see you. Hermit Something, welcome aboard. Flying Tonight is here. Firefly 303, ready for some VATSIM. Right, brilliant. Now, where are we at? Brett, old veteran. Muse and I are on the gins already. Oh, Jesus, him and Bert, really? Brilliant. Now, let me see. Johnny Stewart is in the house. Tier 1 for 3 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Johnny. Hope you're well. Hemmingbird, thank you for the bits. Curly Toes is here. AZ Blue Line, good afternoon. Kev Sim Corner. Hey, Kev. Hope you're well, man. Now, let me see. Motion Arts, you're very welcome aboard. Mark Burton here as well. Hey, Mark. Hope all is well. Who else is on me gadget of things with stuff? We're live here on Twitch and YouTube, 2 places at the same time. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, so without further ado, we'll go to this screen. You see, if I mute my microphone before I move it, you won't get deafened by the bing, all that kind of stuff, right? It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, right, this is my view for tonight, for the moment. And, well, I'm on the ground here at Dublin. But this flight tonight, this entire stream tonight, well, we're to achieve 2 things. First, our Group A pilots, you guys are going to do your transition. It's your VATSIM check ride, all right? And for the Group B pilots, we watch, we listen, we learn, and then later on, we're going to practice because, well, we're up next week as well, all right? So any questions or if anyone's stuck, just let us know in the chat. We'll try and get to everything. The plan is we're going to watch the Group A lads as much as we can. Then we jump over to Group B. For the Group B pilots tonight, don't be alarmed if you get a bit more feedback over the airwaves than normal. Our plan now is if a mistake is made, we're going to try and capture it and iron it out there and then. Or at least that's the hope, right? So we'll have to wait and see. So Muse is concentrating and just turned to me saying, did you just say something about me? He'll probably say that too much. It's grand. Muse is a man under pressure, right? That's what's happening. So I shall draw your attention over to this gadget. The website, right? tutormurphy.com/IFR. And it's in here, you'll see where the assignments page. So we're fully booked. Everyone is now in. And on the assignments page, well, you're going to see hopefully your name, your call sign, and then we have this scheduled block. What we mean by this is, for anyone that says Monday 13th, you guys are the focus for next week. For this week, you'll see either Group A or Group B for tonight. Group A or Group B. Group A are flying direct on VATSIM. Group B are going to be flying with us on our own network. All right. That's the stab of it. So there's quite a few guys here, right? If anyone has missed the registration point, if anyone is, right, we'll try and get you sorted during the week. And then, we'll ask you the honest question. Do you feel confident that you can take part next week? Just let me know. Send me a DM on Discord. That's the only way you're going to get in. So if you've missed anything or you weren't around to register and you still want to give it a crack next week, drop me a DM on Discord, right? That is the only way it shall work it. But anyway, so these are the registration pages. Now, for tonight, we have a brand new ground school document. So you can go in here, ground school. And when this opens, hopefully it opens for you, it should be showing you 7.9, version 7.9, all right? Now, there are parts in this, lads, that are so important, even if you're not on Group A tonight or you're not on Group B, still keep this checklist, this book, this ground school document, keep it close by, because if you get stuck anywhere, well, it's designed to bring you back to the menu and say, I need to do something. You filter down through the index page and you say, I need to go into this section here. All right. So for tonight, we have new things added, right? So the VATSIM check ride, and I've set in a couple of things, right? So tonight we fly our first VATSIM check ride, and it's just explaining what it is we're going to do. For Group A, we actually have slightly different coverage. We have Dublin is online, we have Shannon Approach, and we also have Shannon Control. But we'll go through that now in a moment. Revision, online flying, revise the notes above. So starting at the very beginning, there's a little click. You can click this 1.4 and it brings you back to online networks, how they work, how to get connected. Here's everything to do with vPilot, how to get yourself set up, getting your sound and settings, your model matching. The whole shebang is there. All right. So I'm hoping now we're all at the stage where, yeah, Murph, we're grand. Those of us who are flying on VATSIM tonight are fully ready to go. Right. Now, we will look at vPilot itself. The ATC script, which is Dublin to Shannon, it's back on page 191. Scroll up to page 191, right? And this can work for the Group A pilots as well. If you're stuck, follow this. Initial contact to ATC. And in here, just have a read down through it. This is most likely what ATC are going to tell you. Now, the fact that Shannon Control is online, it just means you have a controller the entire way. You're under ATC coverage for the entire flight. And in a lot of ways, that's fairly straightforward, right? Because, well, you're just relaying and relying on the information. Couple of points and reminders for people. When we're communicating on VATSIM, when you're talking to these controllers, you want to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently. Effectively, knowing what to say, or at the very least, getting the information that you have over to them. Efficiently, you want to talk relatively fast. You'll hear other people talking, you'll hear the controllers talking. It's quite direct and it's quite snappy, right? It's not, well, I want to look out my window and request a button. No, it has to be fast, quick, get it in there, get the information out there. And when you're reading back an instruction, you got to write the stuff down, write the instructions down. Doesn't matter how good you think the L noggin is, how much data you can actually retain, write the instructions down, because when you call them back or you need to read them back, once you have the vital information, well, the controller isn't really going to worry if you put the altitude in before you reported back the heading. Once you're getting the correct information, that's what they're listening for. All right. So you have all this script here. Keep this as your little guide beside you tonight. Same with the Group B guys. All right. And that should see us safe. That should see us safe. All right. Now, so we have the last link here is to a freeware of Dublin Airport. For the PC version of Microsoft Flight Sim. This one here, if you ramble on over to flightsim.to, well, you'll see a dude made this. His name is 6 Knots. He made a customized version of Dublin, which includes the new north runways. That's your 28 right and your 10 left. That's the new runway. All right. So when you're on VATSIM, for this course especially, we want to operate on this. If you don't have the scenery and you're on VATSIM, you need to tell the controllers. But again, you're kind of creating a little bit of flow trouble for them, because now they've got to move departing aircraft where arriving aircraft are coming in, right? So make sure you grab the scenery. It's for free. If you don't have the MK Studios one, you can pick up the free one, available over on flightsim.to, and it's from our very own 6 Knots. Kieran did a great job with this here. All right. So where are we at now? Right. So I have a couple of more pointers and stuff to go through. Just let this document load in. What I want to go on to next is, well, knowing where there is ATC coverage, right? So we're going to move down here in the little ground school document. So it says here, check ATC coverage on SimAware or VATSIM radar. Now, I've showed you SimAware before. This is SimAware, and it's a nice, neat little website, very handy, shows you where everyone is. However, Gibbo put me into this one, and this is VATSIM, what's that called? Hyphen, I think. VATSIM-radar.com. All right. This one seems to be a little bit better, okay? Because you can connect your own VATSIM account to it, and you can see where all the traffic is. So here's Ireland. This is the area of control at the moment. So we can see, yes, we have Dublin approach. Okay. We have Shannon approach. Actually, we have Shannon Tower looking at this. Shannon Tower is online, all right? And then we have Shannon Control as well. Now, every time you fly on VATSIM, you need to check out where the coverage actually is. And it'll change. You know, it's some controllers will go offline, others will suddenly appear online. Us as pilots, we need to be watching this. We need to be aware of this. Your vPilot client will help, right? Sometimes your controller will give you a ping to say, hey, I'm doing the thing. But if you keep your eye on the likes of the VATSIM radar or SimAware or even Volanta, they'll all give you an idea of what's going on. All right. And if we zoom in, well, we can see some information here. So let's look at Dublin, right? We can see there's a whole load of aircraft, and we're going to use this little map to know not to spawn or start on a stand that has other traffic on it. Pick something far away from all the other aircraft. You see here, here's 2 aircraft right beside each other, a Shamrock and a Ryanair. They're okay, they're beside each other, but like, you know, once you get used to the airport, you'll know where all the start positions are. All right. So who have we got over here? Look, over on the west apron. Yeah, we got a couple of lads there as well. All right. Now, you also need to figure out, hey, what are the active runways? Well, using this website, I mean, you can hover over ATIS and it'll give you the ATIS information. ILS, landing runway 28 left, taking off from runway 28 right. So this is giving you the information on the screen straight away, right? However, if you go on to something like Flight Radar 24, go on to the real world aviation, the lads in VATSIM tend to follow what's going on in the real world. Usually, there could be a small delay, but that's usually what they do. So we can see in Dublin, 28 right is the active runway for departures. So we're going to be using runway 28 right. If we come down the road then towards Shannon, again, we can highlight over the frequency and it says Shannon ATIS information, approach type ILS, landing runway 24. And they're also taking off from runway 24. So landing runway 24 and there's an ILS up and running. Perfect. All right. So 28 or 28 right out of Dublin and 24 into Shannon. We now know what runways we're going for. And again, we can see that we have sufficient control. Now we need to work back into the document. Okay, who am I talking to and when am I going to talk to them? Because we have ATC coverage all around Dublin and in Shannon, and there's nothing really here in the middle. However, because Shannon Control is on, well, they'll cover everything in the middle. Right? They're going to hold your hand the whole way. So we will report first to Dublin. We'll expect to get handed over to Shannon Control, and then we'll expect to get released from Shannon Control back down to Shannon Approach or Shannon Tower. Remember the top-down system. We have Shannon Control online, and look at the size of the area that this guy covers, right? Let's say, for example, we didn't have Dublin or Shannon airport staffed. That means Shannon Control looks after the entirety. If Shannon Control goes offline, well, it means we'll only have Dublin and we'll only have Shannon, meaning that the centre part or outside of the main areas of control, that would go onto Unicom. You can see it over here. If we look at the UK, we can have a look here. We have Manchester. We also have Stansted. But if we were flying down in Bristol or Cardiff, well, there's no ATC active there, so we would be on Unicom. Hope that makes sense. All right, sweet. So that's the story with that. VATSIM radar. I love it. It's brilliant. And shout out to Gibbo for helping me find it, right? Now, that's all well and good. So we now know what's happening. Next up, SimBrief to look at our plan. So when it comes to filing your flight plan on the network, right, we go through a normal flight plan. And remember, because we're using Firefly Air as our own custom virtual airline, that's our own call sign. But the controllers may not know about that. So I'll show you what the crack is with this shortly, right? So airline, Firefly Air, that's our name, FFA. Your call sign, mine is 235. You could be 112 or 999 or 007 or whatever. We're departing out of Dublin and we're going to Shannon. All right. You put in your aircraft type. Aircraft type goes in. Brand, cost index. You leave it all on auto if you want. Just be mindful of your assigned altitude. For this, we can put this one in manually because SimBrief sometimes gives us something kind of weird and wonderful. So let's have a look. See here now, Lido, don't worry about all of this. Your scheduled block time, put it to kind of like 20-30 minutes ahead of when you're going to fly. Your time en route and all this jazz. Departure runway, it might give you 28 left as default. Make sure you change it to 28 right. Change it to 28 right. And just make sure your arrival runway, well, it's now 24 in Shannon, it's not 06. So we're going to have to change this little flight plan and let's see what it's going to give us. So this flight plan, if we activate it, it's going to be the Peleg to Juliet departure. First waypoint Peleg, next waypoint Deegan, and then it's going to be the Deegan to Delta Star for runway 24 below into Shannon Airport. Sweet. Altitude. See this guy up here? Altitude. We're going to file, if you're in an airliner, we're going to go in for 160. We're going to file 160. That's plenty high enough for an airliner on today's flight. If you're in general aviation or something a lot smaller and slower, category A or category B aircraft, you're going to be happy enough at around 4,000 feet altitude. You just are. They're not going to send you up to, 9,000 or whatever. All right. So this is what the flight is going to look like. I'm going to generate this. That's the first step. It's going to process this, make sure it's going to iron out any issues, because sometimes it can give you some mad results. It's now loaded the flight plan and I can start seeing some information. My flight number, that's what I need. My call sign, yes. Departing Dublin, arriving Shannon, and it's giving me an alternate back to Dublin if we have a problem. That's okay. The aircraft is a 737-800, that's what I'm using. Departure time and arrival time, Don't worry too much about arrival. Departure is what you want to get close to as best you can. Altitude for this is going to be 160 or 16,000 feet. All right. You can see other information regarding the weather. This is using real world weather. Now, if we scroll down here, we have an option behind my mallet where it says pre-file on a network. Well, that's what we want to do. We're going to pre-file this. So show the details, and you'll see a couple of options. You have VATSIM, IVAO, Pilot Edge, and POSCON. We're going to VATSIM. So you're going to click pre-file on VATSIM. Now, this will open up another page. All right. Now, on this, you want to make sure you have to be registered on VATSIM at this stage. If you're not, it's just not going to work, right? Now, you can go through the flight plan directly on VATSIM. I mean, if you follow the ground school document, it tells you you can file it straight ahead on VATSIM. If you use SimBrief and you port or you export the flight plan over, well, it's going to pick up your equipment. It's going to pick up other bits and bobs that you may not know. So we're going to confirm it before we file it. Our flight call sign, yes, we are IFR. We are a 7.3. Equipment, we don't need to worry about it. It's referenced back in the ground school manual if you want to know what this stuff is. Where we're departing, where we're arriving, and where our alternate is. Your route details, that is our route. Yeah, that looks correct. Other details, again, don't worry too much about this. Do you see on the very bottom here, remarks, right? What I want you to do here is, first up, new pilot, space, call sign, firefly, and then your number, if you're 235. New pilot, call sign, firefly 235. Does that make sense to you? Are you happy enough? You're letting ATC know you're a new pilot, so they're not going to be too abrupt with you. And then, because if they look at FFA, they'd have to look up their book of ICAO code, and I think it comes up as Sunny or something. Tell them, Firefly 235. The other lads fly way off in the back of beyond. We're using Firefly as our ICAO. So once you're good to go, you click the little green button that says file it. You should get a notification up here. Flight plan filed. Enjoy your flight. Right, flight plan is in. Perfect. We've checked the weather. We'll get the ATIS. We can see it on the screen. We can also jump in once we're connected to vPilot, but I'll get into vPilot now. So vPilot set up an audio test. Jesus. So the vPilot client, right? If you go to vPilot, this is where you can download it. It's their website, vpilot.rosscarson.dev. There's also a page in here all to do with the documentation. If you're stuck, read it because it goes through everything. How you install it, how do you want to run it if you're on a networked situation. You have two PCs, one driving your sim, one driving your ATC. That's what I have. So there's a bit of extra head scratching involved, but it holds your hand. It explains. Some of the most important things here would be your model matching. So if you click on it, it says, oh, Jesus, what do we do here? Don't worry about all this too much, because when it comes to model matching, well, your free option is using FSLTL, right? That's the easiest. FSLTL, you can download it through the fly-by-wire installer in Microsoft Flight Sim, and it'll give you FSLTL. That creates its own file that you can inject into vPilot, and it'll use their models. That's one way. If you have Just Flight's FS traffic, well, it will do the same. It creates its own file. It's in its root folder, and then you just copy that across into your vPilot client. Or you can have both, right? So it's entirely up to you, but this is where you get it. That's to do with your model matching, all right? So far, so good? Okay. Now, flight plan is done. We're going to talk about vPilot and what the devil actually is, right? So if I open up my vPilot client, this is what it's going to look like, right? It'll always come up mode C whenever you connect to the sim. Turn that devil off. It just happens. If you see it happening, just make sure you're not on mode C. Okay, well, let's have a look. It says here, vPilot, it's connected to my simulator. Brilliant. Okay, and I can just hit the little connect button here and it'll connect. We'll go through that in a second. You have a different couple of modes up here. You have mode C, ident. They are transponder modes. You can use this panel rather than your aircraft to be able to do it. Grand. Flight plan. When you click on flight plan, it'll bring you to your flight plan page. Okay? Before you're able to do it, you could do a flight plan directly from the app. They've stopped doing that now. If you go into settings, this is where the meat and veg is, and this is what you need to set up. So in your network, you're going to put in your VATSIM CID. That's your VATSIM identification number. You'll put in your password, log your name, your home airport, wherever it is. And I tend to leave the server on automatic. You can change it in additional settings. Just leave it on automatic. Next up, we have the notifications. This is what I want this little app to do for me. So flash the taskbar icon for a new message. Yeah. Flash the taskbar icon for a text message. Yeah. Show incoming text messages in the sim. If you want, click that and it'll pop up on the screen. So they're notifications. Fonts, they'll just change how everything looks. So for example, if I wanted to change this back down to, I don't know, 10 or 11, click OK, hit apply, and you'll see then the text changes. And I can change how it looks. It's customizable, right? It's customizable. So I'll bring it back up there to about 14 so the owl eyes can see it, right? Your audio. This is most important. Very, very important. So you're going to select your microphone device, okay? And that's whatever device you're using. And then your output. Now, just remember, right? Most of us are going to put all this in our headphones. Some folks like to use their speakers around their desk, or maybe they have surround sound, and that's very realistic. If you just have your radio coming through on your headset, and then you have the sim audio coming out in your speakers, I mean, you can do that from within this, because you're saying, hey, I just want the ATC stuff coming into my headphones, but you tell your sim to push it out through your speakers. It's pretty cool. But just remember, when you start to broadcast, it's broadcasting your voice and your ambient background. Be super critical of that, because the last thing, Firefly 235, your dinner's ready, come in, I'll burst you, is about, oh Jesus, right? And we've heard it, we've all heard it. And you're making the controller's life a little bit awkward as well. So just be aware of that. You can disable the realistic ATC audio effects. That kind of puts like a filter. Why would you? But if you're finding it very difficult to understand, turn that off. Then you have disabled the high frequency background noise. Again, you can do that. Turn it off if you just want the clearest audio coming through, right? Aerosphere Entertainment. Thank you for the subscribe. Cheers, man. Now, you can see your output volume and your microphone volume. Never let your mic get into the red area. That's a bad day at the office. Now, this is detecting a microphone I have way over here, not this fancy microphone, right? So never let this get into the red. You want to be somewhere in the green when you can. Never let it go into the red. So you adjust your mic volume appropriately. All right. Next up, the most important, push to talk. You need to press a button in order to start transmitting. That's vitally important. If you have a hot mic, but if you have, and you're on VATSIM, you're going to get booted off the network quickly because you're breaking communication. All right. So PTT means push to talk. It can be a button on your keyboard, on your controls, wherever you want it. You just tell this gadget, this is the button, and it'll find it. So whenever you press the button, you'll start transmitting. When you let go of the button, it stops transmitting. Fair enough? Now we have our model matching, and we can see, right, there's some stuff here. So it will by default scan your own simulator aircraft and all the liveries that are included, but it won't be enough because, well, people on VATSIM fly with many different liveries, many different types of aircraft. Chances are you don't have them. So you can see you can substitute, right, a different aircraft with something you have. If you go into advanced, it's basically telling you where it's finding all the model matching rules, and you can move these up or down. And then you have the custom rules. This is where you add a custom rule set. This is your VMR. This is where your FSLTL model matching code goes in, or the one from FS Traffic. That's where you put it in there. Fair enough? Performance. This is where you want VATSIM to play nice in your machine. So you can say, hey, don't show me any aircraft beyond a certain distance. You can reduce that to 20 miles if you wish. And you can also say maximum aircraft to display. This can be dangerous only because you need to see aircraft around you. But usually if you have it set to like 100, that's grand. It's not going to try and keep loading and loading and loading and loading. You know what I mean? Updates. There are updates. You can check for vPilot updates. You have stable or beta. Stick on stable for the moment. And then you have your miscellaneous. I want you all to do this one. The first option here, it says automatically squawk mode Charlie on takeoff. Make sure you have that selected. If you forget to change from TA to TA or A, this will catch it and it'll automatically do it for you, regardless of your aircraft. Fair enough? The second one then, it just says keep window visible. If you want to do that, it'll keep that window on front. It'll never disappear. And you can move this onto any screen. It doesn't have to be there. Fair enough? Okie doke. Apply to all of that. We'll click OK. And then the last couple of things we'll see here, you can see what radio frequencies, COM1 and COM2. TX means transmit, RX means receive. So if you press the button, well, I won't do it now, I'm not connected, but when you press your touch to talk, your push to talk, you'll see the transmit button light up. And once we connect, well, this is the options. It's going to ask, well, what's your call sign? Oh, well, I've just filed a flight plan, so I'm Firefly 235. Okay, what's your aircraft? Well, I'm a 737. I'm a 737-800, so 738. Look, here we go, Boeing 738. CAL code, I can't remember, don't worry. I can connect in observer mode, right? If you're just learning and you want to listen and you're not going to take part in actual flying, click and connect in observer mode. I'm now going to connect as an observer. Okay, give it a few moments. It's given me all green lights to say we're connected and everything appears to be tickety-boo. I can hear sounds.
It's been a few months, that's no excuse. Things have changed a bit. Right, I'm heading for requesting the straight out procedure, information Foxtrot on straight down to Gatwick. Requesting, I've already started pushback requesting taxi to runway 28 left.
So these guys are chatting away on the network. Now remember, even though you're in observer mode, well, you can still transmit if you need to. They just can't see your aircraft. So be very aware of that. Don't be yapping away because the system won't stop you from transmitting. All right. Now, because we've connected, I'm going to turn off mode C straight away. Now, if it's not allowing me to do that, get into your aircraft and turn the divel off. So transponder is over. Where's my transponder in this plane? It's here. Look, put it onto standby. I've now put it on standby inside the aircraft. And if I go back and have a look at vPilot, brilliant. It's off. Okay. Have a look at this. See all the frequencies that are up and running. This is telling us what frequencies are live on VATSIM, and they're relatively close. You can also see a whole load of text appearing. VATSIM can operate voice and text, or voice only, or text only. You can do all of these things. So here we have a couple of pilots who are flying and they can't speak. They're texting, right? And the controllers, they'll text them back. Super handy. Very, very, what's the word? Accessible. Very, very accessible, right? So if we were to have a look at some of these controllers, right, these are the frequencies, and I pop them into my radio look. So if I want to go onto Dublin ATIS, 124530, it's dialed in here, change the frequency now, my aircraft.
Runway 28 right. Advise on initial contact. You have listened to information.
So before, we were using Discord. Now, you'll be able to do it into the aircraft itself. Can I text a radio check? Gibble, I dare you. Go on with the crack. Brilliant. VATSIM is brilliant. The accents you hear, right? But you get the idea. Your aircraft now controls it. Now, there's a ton of other add-ons and hardware or software. You know, if you want to get, like, I have a radio stack here beside me. I can use that to control. I can put it on my phone, right? Or indeed, I can use additional apps baked into the simulator itself, which is this handy little gadget here. Where is it now? This guy, VSR, which is a little server. It'll connect to your flight. This is an add-on you can get. It's freeware. And what this will do, this will show me anyone and everyone who's connected on VATSIM, and I can also use this little button to automatically change my radio frequency. So it's showing me the nearest ATC to me. I can scroll down to see who's online. It's only showing you who's online, right? So I can go in here and say, oh, I want to tune into ATIS. Have a listen.
Runway 28 right. Parallel runway operations in use.
Now that's handy. I want to go back to tower. So if you don't want to be fiddling around with buttons or switches or whatever, you can use this VSR, it's called. Again, Gibbo found this one super, super handy. All right. So that's what that does, right? Now, so that's vPilot. Are we all happy now, lads, with vPilot and how it works and how it won't work? Are we all happy enough with that? Yeah? Okay. The next thing it'll do, it'll actually show you the model matching, right? So I'm not connected to Microsoft's multiplayer servers. I have it turned off. However, look, I can now see traffic at Dublin Airport. This is absolutely incredible. And the reason why I'm seeing it, well, this is my model matching doing the thing. This is showing me VATSIM traffic. How super handy is that? And even if you wanted to just jump in on observer mode, have a listen to what's happening, this is the best way to learn, because you're gonna pick up the phraseology, you're gonna pick up what the guys are saying, both ATC and the pilots, and you'll start getting a decent flow of what's happening around you. If we were to listen in, we can interpret.
766, just confirm enter right, backtrack, runway 16 and hold short, runway 28 left.
So we're going to learn and get a good idea, an overview, if you like, what's happening here at the airport. ATC have just given an aircraft to say backtrack runway 16 and then hold short runway 28 left, he said. So there's probably going to be an aircraft taxiing.
Alright, 78 by 0, as we're behind the heavy, we're happy to take full length and we'll line up and wait runway 28 right behind.
Conditional clearance, line up and wait behind. You get the idea, yeah? So here's a big heavy guy about to go off, DHL, right? And again, if you want, you can go back in. This is where like aviation geeks we rejoice here, right? If we wanted to say, well, Jesus, then who's your man? Look, well, sure, zoom in. There he is. Look, he's going from Dublin all the way over to Echo Delta Delta Papa. Okay, where's the Ryanair fella going? He's going over to England. Okay, where's this guy? Oh, he's after coming in. Okay, what about this guy? He's going to England. You can actually track to see how everyone is, right? So you're not observable. ATC cannot see me. They can hear me if I start transmitting. They can't see me. This is the ninja way to get onto VATSIM and just figure out what's going on. Have a look at all the aircraft. I mean, it's plain spotting. I mean, that's what it is. But it's a great way to test to make sure your model matching is working. You have all the correct aircraft and all that sort of jazz. All right? So for our Group A pilots, lads, if you're happy enough to start belting on, I think now is a good time to start belting on. Just remember for tonight, and I can't kind of emphasize this enough, write down everything. The instructions that you're getting, write it down. If the controller is very fast and you don't understand them, well, tell them. Say again, slowly, please. Right? They know the crack. They are going to be busy. We know the crack. We are going to be busy as well. But this is all about enjoy it. Enjoy this experience. It might seem like there's so much happening. Really, there's not. We've flown this route a lot of times already. We're going to fly out of Dublin. We're going to get handed over to Shannon Control, and they're going to route us all the way across the country until we get into Shannon itself. All right? Any questions so far? What is best? Asked Dub Jensen, VATSIM or IVAO? VATSIM is better in terms of its coverage, right? There's a lot more activity on VATSIM. But look at it. Once you find your favorite, you'll find your favorite. Do you know what I mean? Same with Pilot Edge. Pilot Edge is nowhere near as busy as VATSIM or IVAO. But if it suits the area that you like flying in, and you know what I mean, VATSIM is it's very, very good. VATSIM is free. IVAO is free. Pilot Edge is paid for. You got to pay for that service. All right. So at this stage, I'm going to stay in observer mode, right? Because I won't be talking to ATC, and hopefully now you have a good overview of what's happening.
There's SimBrief from November 2, runway 28 right, line up and wait behind.
Behind departing Ryanair 738 from November 2, down and wait 28 right behind. Super 3 Tesla.
So I heard Speedbird. That's a British Airways call sign. Shamrock is Aer Lingus. Ryanair is Michael O'Leary's private enterprise, right? And you'll learn all these ones. You'll hear them all. Now, we are, unfortunately, without a VMR file for Firefly Air.
Firefly 303, this is Cessna 414 at the North Apron, parking 5-1 right, requesting IFR clearance to Shannon with information Foxtrot.
There's our first Firefly.
303 Dublin, Tower Hello, clear to Shannon via Pelic. After departure, runway 28 right, track runway, extended center line, stock line 4,000 feet, squawk 6371, airborne frequency, Dublin control 129er, decimal 180.
So there's a lot of information to read back.
Clear to Shannon via Pelic, extended runway, flight 4,000 feet for initial departure. Altitude and squawking 6071 and departure frequency 129er decimal 18.
Firefly 303, lead background.
Brilliant, brilliant. So that aircraft, it's not your typical airliner. So the controllers.
Firefly 602 requesting IFR to Shannon with information golf on board.
Brilliant, right? So just to explain what's happening, that aircraft isn't your typical airliner. So ATC have a job now of getting the separation done right. So they're giving them a non-standard departure. That forget the SID. Okay, you're going to fly the extended track. Don't go any higher than 4,000 feet. And once you're, airborne, you're going to be contacting Dublin Control. and a new frequency was thrown at them. All right?
Firefly 602 is cleared to Shannon via the Peleg to Juliet. Stop climb is going to be at 090. Departure frequency is going to be 129.18. And squawk 0756 for Firefly 602.
Firefly 602, feedback right, brake, speedbird entry, enter left.
So they're busy. You can hear them say break, which is brilliant. So if I want to import a flight from SimBrief, let's have a look at this flight now. And this is what the airliners are getting, right? This is what the airliners are getting. So they're getting a runway 28 departure. It's on the Peleg to Juliet. Yeah. They have a stop climb of flight level 900. That's 9,000 feet. And they're going to be talking to a departure frequency. Peleg is going to be their main waypoint. Then they're going to have Deegan. And then they're going to be in for the ILS approach for runway 24. So if they're in an airliner or a category C or D aircraft, the larger, faster ones, they're more capable of flying the stars. If they're in smaller, the wind has just forced us to change to 06. Oh, brilliant. We're now 06 at Shannon. This is what happens. You could be all set up to land. Ah, brilliant. And now it's changed just like that. What do you do? How are we going to manage this one, lads? This is what it's all about. So 06 is now active. Okay, pilots, what are you going to do? 06 is active. First and foremost, you can, if you have, what's this called? Navigraph. When you have Navigraph, you're going to change your runway. So you can say, change the runway. It's now going to be 06. And it's now saying procedure Deegan 2 does not connect. It's going to be removed. Okay, get it out of there. What's my star going to be now for runway 06? Well, let's have a look. Here's Shannon. Let's look at the arrivals. What do we have? Well, we know we're coming in from Deegan. Yeah, we know that. That's where we're going to head in. So if I were to select the Deegan 2 Echo and add this to my route, check that out. In seconds.
Right, stop climb 90, squawk 2250, airborne frequency 129.180, Firefly 112.
Firefly 112, feedback right.
Okay, so on this, all you need to do now is go into your FMS or your GPS, whatever unit you're using, remove the procedure, and put in a new one.
Information Golf. Request IFR clearance to Shannon.
This is really, really good, lads. Will Group B still be going for 2-4? Negative. Negative. We're going to have to change it. Brilliant.
62, airborne frequency, Dublin control, 129.180.
Cleared to Shannon via Peleg to Juliet departure, runway 28 right, stop climb, flight level 90, squawk 6462, departure frequency 129.18, Firefly 206.
Firefly 206, feedback right.
I'm trying to stay I'm trying to stay up to date with me chat as well. We're busy just as well as these are. Did you get the idea, lads? Yeah.
There'll be a short delay.
Yes, sir. In line up and right on the door left. Speed put at extra. Thank you.
Golf Whiskey Alpha Victor Victor. Active runways 28 QNH 1016. Go ahead with your intentions.
So we're listening into some other guys, yeah? Look at all these fireflies. Brilliant, lads. This is class. This is class.
Scout 6766, standing by.
Okay, so there's 9 departures.
6766, enter right, backtrack, runway 16, hold short, runway to left.
Look at this, lads. This is brilliant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 aircraft for Firefly ready to ramble out.
Scout 6766, just confirm.
Keen Amateur says, can you connect in observer mode without the member orientation? No, Keen Amateur, you gotta jump in there. If you're stuck, I mean, it's not bad. They give you all the answers. You just gotta read it. And I promise you, it's not too bad. Just make sure you read over it. Then you have access, right? And then spend a bit of time in observer mode. You're gonna get used to what's happening. But again, pick an airport that you know has coverage and try and pick an airport that's relatively straightforward. It doesn't have complex taxiways. It's very straightforward. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Caleb is here. Good to see you. Now, the challenge I gave everyone tonight as well was to use live time and live weather. Now, there are kind of workarounds on VATSIM if you wish, but for this, lads, let's keep this thing as real as we can. Live time and weather, it's a challenging day out there, and that's what makes Ireland absolutely brilliant for flying in. And why does not more flying in Ireland, I'll never know. The weather you get in Ireland is absolutely incredible. Pilots from around the world, actually, they want to fly in Ireland because of the weather systems that we get here. Like, you talk to any of the real world pilot training programs, be it Cork or in Waterford, the advantages of getting to learn how to fly in Ireland for your training, man alive, it's fantastic. They get absolutely bashed through storms, gale force, rain, no visibility, lots of viz, sunny, all in the one day. Irish weather is good. It's great for learning to fly. It's incredible. Because 1 minute it could be sunny and calm, and before you know it, it's hailstones from beside. And like, who in a flight sim, unless you're looking out the window, who wants to be flying in blue skies? Come on. We want mad weather. We want the challenge. We want to say, holy crap, do you remember the day I flew through that? Do you know what I mean? Hey, Epic Fool is here. Good to see you. The rain is different temperatures sometimes, right? Mark Burton says, I followed a few flights in observer mode. Yeah, 100%. Do you know? Memphis Don says, Edinburgh, great place to start. It is. It is. Who ate me faces here? Love and Merce face. Listen to Firefly calls. Looks like a proud dad.
Firefly 702, Boeing 737 on stand 109 left with information Golf. Request IFR clearance to Shannon.
Firefly 702 Dublin, Tower hello, clear to Shannon, anchor to Juliet, departure, runway 28 right, stop climb, flight level 90, squawk 3460, airborne frequency, Dublin control 129.180.
There's a lot to listen into.
Cleared for Shannon via anchor to Juliet, departure, runway 28 right, initial climb, flight level 9. Squawk 3460, departure frequency 129.18.
Firefly 702, feedback on.
So that's a perfect example. Don't worry too much of getting one or two teeny tiny things slightly out of kilter, like runway 28. No, it's 28 right. Little things like that. Stop climb 9er. Well, it should be flight level 9 or 0. Don't worry too much on that. That comes with the practice and everything else. The controller knows that pilot, they know what they're being asked to do. They're just reading it back. Yeah, you got this, man. It's brilliant, right? Brilliant. People haven't connected in observer mode if they are flying, have they? Seems to be fewer aircraft at Dublin right now than are calling. No, because, well, if ATC can't see them, they'll tell them. Especially when they get a squawk. Cockpit Racing, good to see you. Lads, I need to draw your attention to this because you might hear it. Neptune. You might hear Neptune, right? If ATC are giving you a clearance limit, hold short runway 28 right, or they might say hold short at Neptune. Huh? I'll show you where it is. Again, your charts. Look at the charts. Look at the waypoints and look at the airport. This is Dublin Airport. Let's go over to where 28 right is. Here she be here. Look. So here we have... here's 28 right. Neptune. It's a waypoint. Neptune is a waypoint on the chart. So they could say, taxi 2, hold short, Neptune. Okay. Well, we can find Neptune because, well, it says Neptune. And see the hold short lines on either side of it? So that's where they want you to hold short at Neptune. So if you're on this side, it's here. If it's on that side, sorry, that's not right. Undo that. If you're on this side of it, it's there. If you're on that side of it, it's here. Neptune, and there's the two little arrows. You guys see that? So they might say Neptune, they might say Venus. I can't find Pluto. It's in there somewhere, but you get the idea. That's possible. All right. If you can't see it on your chart, because if you're looking at this, where is it? I can't see Neptune. Your man is drunk. Oh no, it's on this now as well. Brilliant. It's on your main chart as well. Neptune. There's Venus. Did anyone find Pluto?
QNH 1016 and go ahead with your intentions.
Who's this now?
Sorry, I don't currently have any intentions. I'm really just testing my microphone.
Office Alpha Victor Roger, FDBL T5.
So there's someone else in VATSIM And just like that, they got to learn some which way. But can you hear the difference between what our guys and how they're communicating versus others? Like, proud moment, but like, it's to show all the guys who are going to be flying with us on Group B. I mean, that's the difference, lads. That's the foundation that we're aiming for. So when it comes to ATC controlling us, they're just going to be like, ah, sure, bring it on, pilot, bring it on. El Pilito says, Neptune, Venus and Pluto not on the charts available on Chart Fox. El Pilito, if you go to the Dublin Airport AIR or AIP, the AIP, you can grab it there. So, for example, you might be saying, huh? I'll show you, look. Where's me? Open the, oh, Jesus.
Flight 206, push and start approved, face west, QNH 1016.
Push and start approved, face west, QNH 1016, Firefly 206.
Okay, Dublin, right? Let's have a look at this now. Wait for it. ATC routes, no. Navigation, aerodrome. Here we go. Table of contents. So I want the aerodrome, right? It's in here somewhere. Aerodrome availability. Oh. Aerodromes, Cork, Dublin. Dublin aerodrome. There we go. Now, is Neptune on this friggin' dude? Because if it's not, we'll find another one. Aircraft parking. Here we go.
Good evening, Shamrock 448 is stand 303.
I'm going to copy this for you. I'm going to paste it into the chat on El Palito. Grab that and save it. That's the same chart. Okay, well, Neptune is there, dude.
Shannon, Peleg 2 Juliet departure, runway 28 right, stop climb, flight level 90, squawk 1524, airborne frequency, Dublin control 129er, decimal 180.
Oh, Jesus.
Could you say again, please?
There we are. All right.
Shamrock 448, clear to Shannon. Peleg 2 Juliet departure, runway 28 right, stop climb, flight level 90, squawk 1524, airborne frequency, Dublin control 129er, decimal 180.
Pluto was on the Zulu taxiway. Thanks, Gibbo. Disney kidnapped Pluto. Now, meanwhile, do you hear all the right? That's people texting. So we can see it here, right? Now, these errors, your simulator failed to create an aircraft for AW277 using model R22. The model files may be corrupt or not correctly installed. vPilot will try to create the aircraft with a different model. This can happen when you don't have model matching set up. Again, I'm only using one, right? But again, look, you can see here, Dublin South Tower, Shamrock 448, clear to Shannon, Peleg 2 Juliet departure, stop climb, flight level 090, squawk 1524, airborne frequency 129er 180. It's showing us this on vPilot, and this is the importance, lads, of looking at vPilot, because, well, it's kind of giving you half the story, isn't it? Right? But not only that, don't let that happen. Settings, miscellaneous, keep the window visible, apply. Now, if I click on the sim behind it, this will never move again. Aha, see, we learned a thing, right? Anyway, what I'm saying here is, the information is here. If ATC said to you, if they gave you the following clearance via PDC, this is where they're going to put it to you, and it's going to appear as a private message. Do you see the tabs up the top? Well, a new tab will open where you have kind of one-to-one conversations. So, for example, here is Dublin South Tower. If I double click this, I can see what he's doing because it's giving me all the information. If I right click it, I can open up a private chat. I'm now talking directly to that controller. And he can only talk to me. So if you're unsure of anything when you're flying on the network, if you're unsure and you don't want to sound like a complete and utter Murphy, right? You just don't want to sound like an idiot. Drop them a text. Hey, can I do this? Do you know what I mean? It's better to do that than hit them during a very busy conversation where there's voice activity. You drop them a little message and they might come back and say, all okay. So just showing the text function on vPilot for users. Hello there. All okay. Now, that's going to pop up on a screen, right? We hoping the contact me sound should play. Well, I'm going to have a listen now. I should get a beep or something, right? So let's forget about that for the moment. And I'm still doing me thinking me playing.
Firefly 206, request taxi.
Direct message.
Do you hear that? You have a new direct message. I got a notification. And you can change the sounds.
Captain, you have an incoming.
Firefly 206, taxi, kilo.
Right? All good. But you know what I mean, lads? So don't be ever afraid to use this. If you're unsure about something, it's better to say, hey, is this okay? You know, am I okay to do this? Or, listen, I don't have 2.8 right. Any chance I can get 2.8 left? This is like bread and butter stuff. If you can establish comms with the controller prior to doing a thing, you're eliminating the element of surprise. You're helping the controller. Now, it's not there to say, so what do you have for breakfast? It's not there for that. But if you need to get an important message across, we should be able to get one in. See these other yokes? See these other yokes, right? I now have more messages coming in. See them over here on the right? Now, again, I can go into settings, audio. Where do I do this now? Updates, performance, notifications. Now, I need to remember how to change the actual sound for that. But look, I have additional messages after popping up. Shannon Approach just jumped on. I did hear it, Josh. 100% I heard it. Shannon Tower, demo, pre-clearance, pre-departure clearance. That's your CDP. Cleared Shannon via Peleg 2 Juliet, runway 28 right. Stop climb flight level 900, squawk 2250. Automatic switch to frequency on 122.8 when airborne. Call 118.7 when ready for push and start. No read back required. That's a prime example. If they're very busy, they can't talk to you, they'll just say clearance is on CDP or clearance via CDP. And you don't need to go back now because he's telling us no read back required. Super. I just follow that instruction. I'll put in my squawk, I'll get my frequencies dialed in, and then when I'm ready for a push and start, I'll dial in 118.7, I'll say Shannon Tower, Firefly 235, request push and start. Alright?
Standby, break, Firefly 602, taxi, Foxtrot Outer, November, hold Neptune.
Foxtrot Outer, hold Neptune for Firefly 602.
Jet 03, taxi, Sierra, Whiskey 1, hold short, move on 6.
Sierra, Whiskey 1, hold short, sound 16.
Firefly 112 from November 1, runway 28 right, line up mate, caution 1 intersection departure right.
Now, let's go back into Neptune here.
November 1, line up.
Because I'm giving you absolute wrong information. Neptune hold short is before November 2. Sorry, lads, I need to clarify this. So see Neptune, if you get a Neptune, they're holding you here. It's at one point. Looking at the chart though, right? I'm getting caught with this thing, which doesn't look right. So if oh Jesus, don't press that, whatever you do. If I go into this and delete all of this, yes. So Neptune, that's the whole short where Neptune is. This 2, that's not what it is. If I need to figure out what 2 is, well, I'll look at the key and say, that's what number 2 refers to. Neptune is holding short prior to November 2. That's the whole short at Neptune. It's one single line. Are we happy enough? But it's on the map that Murph shared, says Eamon. Zulu. Where's Zulu at Dublin? That's November. That's Mike. That's November. There's Whiskey. Sierras.
63761 set, start appears to QNH 1016.
Super. Okay, so we're looking for Pluto. Is that Pluto there? Just I can't see it. I'm parked just off at Murph. We see. When is sim up day 15? We don't know. That's it there, Josh, is it? Across from Bravo 1. Now, lads, you may have heard it just now. Thanks, Josh. You may have heard it just now. The controller had to tell the pilot, check your transponder. Remember, when you want to start moving, transponder on. TA mode. Or on, yeah? Mode C is altitude reporting. Okay, we just got departure clearance.
Flight 206,
Takeoff clearance.
Company EV20 from November to runway 28 right, line up and wait behind.
Here we go.
Behind the departing company A320.
Behind the company. I love this. That's the first time I've heard that for us. Ah, brilliant. That's fantastic. Off goes Firefly 112. Beautiful. Ah, this is absolutely class, isn't it? Jesus, lads, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Look at that. The absolute suffering state of it. Beautiful. And then the next aircraft is given his instruction. Line up and wait behind. There, TB. Right? It's brilliant, isn't it? Around there pretty much. Okay, sweet. This is brilliant. I am loving this, lads. This is absolutely class, isn't it? Huh? We'll just do some plane watching for the night. Or plane spotting. But the weather, like, the weather was proper gusty there this evening. Super, right? Just remember, when you're ready to move on the ground, get your transponder turned on and make sure your squawk is correct. Alright? Do that before you start moving. So when you're ready to push, put on your L squawk box and then, hey, can I push please? Or start? Do you know what I mean? So.
Firefly 702, request taxi.
Here's 702.
Firefly 702, taxi Delta Sierra, Kilo, hold short November.
Taxi Charlie, Kilo, and November, Firefly 702.
Firefly 702, just confirm, hold short November.
Holding short November, Firefly 702.
Good. Okay, next departure.
206, surface wind 31 degrees 9 knots, from me to right, right, clear for takeoff, bye-bye.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28 right, Firefly 206, bye-bye, thank you.
Kanzumi, how are you?
02 p.m. the departing company Cessna from November 2, runway 28 right, line up and wait behind.
Behind departing company Cessna, line up and wait via November 2, 428 right, Firefly 602.
Nice, he's going to come in there at November 2. Ah, this is brilliant, isn't it? So Group B, guys, be getting ready. David Bay, yes, lads, you can start getting ready. We're going to be spawning in here in about 24 minutes, and we're going to start up our own ATC then. What I'm going to do here, lads, I'm going to leave the tower frequency. I'm going to jump over to the next controller, and let's have a listen. So if I were to go to Dublin, 129er 180, right? 129er 180. So 129er 180. And let's have a listen in to what the lads are being told at Dublin. So now we listen in, right? We listen in.
Bravo Sierra Alpha 124, descent altitude 5,000 feet, Dublin QNH 1016.
So he's talking to a lot of traffic, a lot more traffic.
Established.
BZ 1308, thanks. Clear for your approach number 1. Contact the tower for landing 118.6. Bye.
Tower, thanks, bye.
Training control, good evening. Firefly 206, altitude 2,500 feet, climbing flight level 90.
Perfect.
Firefly 206, Dublin, good evening. Got all checks identified on departure. Climb flight level 110.
Climb flight level 110, Firefly 206.
So you get the idea, right? Tower cleared them out. Now they're on with a controller in Dublin control, and he's saying, "Yeah, I can see your full."
112, climb flight level 160.
Climb flight level 160, Firefly 112.
Sounding very good, lads. Absolutely friggin' brilliant. Hey, we got some activity over in...
Whiskey 277, ready for departure, point Hotel Bal.
Alpha Whiskey 277, your lift approved. Surface wind at BAL checks 300 degrees 07 knots.
Lift approved, Alpha Whiskey 277.
So there's a helicopter coming out of Baldonnel. That'd be the Irish Air Corps, right? And that's a familiar voice. So, right? But you can see that...
Alpha 124, turn right direct lap mode.
This controller is dealing with a lot of aircraft, yeah? But we get the idea. We get the idea.
Bravo Sierra Alpha 124, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
Bravo Sierra Alpha 124, descent flight level 30.
3,000 feet.
Safe. Yes.
Alpha Whiskey 277, squawk 0406.
Squawk 0406, Alpha Whiskey 277.
Firefly 206, climb flight level 160.
Climb flight level 160, Firefly 206.
Firefly 206, due traffic ahead, expect 160 as your final.
Expect 160 as final, Firefly 206.
This is important. If you click on the aircraft, we can see Firefly 206. You can see his squawk, you can see where he's heading. He filed originally for flight level 180, 18,000 feet. The controller has now said, look, you got traffic ahead of you, so expect your new cruise altitude to be 160. So he's controlling all the spacing, both vertically and, you know, lateral and all that jazz, yeah? So you get the idea. That's what controllers do. It's separation, your spacing, all of this.
4,300 up to 9,000.
Firefly 602, Dublin, good evening, identified on departure, climb flight level 140.
Back and forth work
Up to 140 for Firefly 602.
Now you heard double chatter.
Okay, 2 stations crossed, Firefly 602, I believe you copied, climb flight level 140.
Firefly 602 confirming flight level 140.
Super.
Alpha Whiskey 277, Dublin, go ahead.
Routing direct lane, then route to Denday Woods. A little bit of back and forth between the two for about 10-15 minutes, and then route direct to Shannon. Alpha Whiskey 277.
Alpha Whiskey 277, Dublin, thanks, that's all copy. Maintain VFR, remain clear of controlled airspace, QNH Dublin 1016.
Maintain VFR, clear control, Alpha Whiskey 277.
Stay firm, no known or observed traffic in the area to effect.
No known, Alpha Whiskey 277.
That's super the way you can click on it. Look, you can see the full flight.
124 from Latmo, cleared ILS approach, 28 left, report established, number 1.
Bravo Alpha 124, clear for runway 23 left, clear established.
Right? It's pretty cool. So look at all these guys heading down the road. Look, this is awesome.
Dublin Tower, good day, Firefly 702, at 3,000 feet for flight level 9, inbound Delta Whiskey 128.
Firefly 702, Dublin Control, good evening. I have a primary target just airborne off Dublin. Check your transponders, Mo Charlie TARA. Firefly 702, thanks, I have you now, and just verify your passing altitude.
Sorry, I just said my transponder to TRRA, my apologies. I'm currently at 4,000 feet.
Firefly 702, that's no problem, that all checks now. I have you identified on departure, climb flight level 160.
Climbing 160, Firefly 702.
Now, lads, that was absolutely brilliant, right? So, okay, a little error happened. Transponder didn't go on to what it should have been. Again, you can just not let that be a thing by selecting it in your vPilot. ATC said, hey, I'm getting an alert on my screen. You need to set your transponder. At all times, though, 702 kept the communication exactly the way he needed it. He advised him, this is where I'm heading. Okay, I'll fix that. This is now where my altitude is. Perfect. Like perfect. You don't get better than that, right? Epic Fool is like... Is Epic Fool like just providing kind of... Do you know what I mean? If we have a mistake...
Firefly 702, left turn direct Peleg now.
Ooh.
Actually, Firefly 702, make a left turn direct to Inker.
Inker. Says you where? Inker. Look at your routing. Where be Inker? So I don't see Inker here. Right? Again, make sure your charts are turned on. You have all the jazz. So we need to find Inker. Yeah?
Firefly 112, contact Shannon Control now, 134.26, but wait.
Alpha 112.
Inker is just north of Mullingar. Inker is north of Mullingar. Be sure to check it out. Fresno J, we're teaching, dude. We're teaching.
Bravo C Alpha 124, thanks. Clear for your approach, number 1. Contact the tower for landing 118.6. Good night.
Firefly Alpha 124, contact Petro, Tower 118.
Okay, so 702. I haven't heard him back yet, but that's okay. We may not hear him. I'm parked at Dublin. I mightn't hear these lads on frequency, yeah? That's how this thing works. So I'm hoping Firefly 702 is all hunky-dory. Right? Epic! Pull up the handbrake! You might be needed here in a minute.
Firefly 702 Dublin, you can make a left turn now, route direct to Derag.
I'm hoping he's okay on frequency. I really hope he's okay on frequency. Should be alright. Because the tower hasn't called him, or sorry, controller hasn't called him back 3 or 4 times. Copy, you know? Are we going to see you actually use it? Use which?
Firefly 206, contact Shannon Control now, 134.26, good night.
Shannon Control 134.26, Firefly 206. Thank you, bye-bye.
This is gripping, yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Do. What's their Muppetry? Aww. What's their Muppetry? I love when I see Muppetry. Sorry. So, Captain Ray, I'm not flying this tonight. We're going to be flying with our Group B pilots. This is just watching our Group A pilots this week.
Firefly 303, contact Shannon Control now, 134.26, good night.
Contact Shannon Control on 134.26. Thanks, bye-bye.
So, guys, do you see the spacing here? And this is the point we were trying to make. It's all very good spacing. So, Shannon Control is going to have to pick up these guys now shortly. All right? So what we're doing tonight, we're watching Group A fly VATSIM. Next week, we become Group A and we'll get to fly VATSIM as well. So,
Ryanair 337 is stand 213. Information go. Looking for clearance dead for Boeing 737-800.
So we have Firefly 006 just waiting out of Dublin.
337 clear to Edinburgh, Rotev 3 Juliet departure of 28 right, initial climb, flight level 90, your squawk 4760.
Okay, so I'm going to jump over now to Shannon. I'm hoping I can get it. Shannon approach 121.4. 121.4. We mightn't get it here, but we'll give it a shot.
337 all correct, and you can report ready.
121. Jesus, 121.4.
Firefly 602, contact Shannon 134.26.
I may not get it at this range. Oh wait, hang on, that's not right. 121.4? No, Murph. Shannon approach 121. But they're not using something else? Oh, they probably were, but I can't see it. Ah, okay. Now, if I'm in observer mode, I can just hop out of here, can't I? I'm almost sure I can. Right, let's have a look at this. Come here to me, Flo. We're going to do something. Just grab on for dear life. Where can I go that's somewhere roughly in between? As you do. Into Burr. Say nothing to no one. Here at Firefly Air, we laugh at Muppetry. I mean, who doesn't? No, it's cool. Captain Ray, if you weren't getting the answer, that hopefully you got it now. All right. Right, lads, couple of minutes. We will jump over now to our Group B pilots. You guys are going to be departing out of Dublin, and I really hope this is a great insight to what's going on, lads. Yeah. Now, don't mind that on the screen here. It's not every day you see a 737 parked in Burr. Oh, Jesus, I need to connect the gadget. Ooh, I've no ground power. Balls. Hang on, I need to fix this. Go back. Jesus, get in. Yes. No, go back. Go in. Yes.
Cleared ILS 06 and we'll clear when established urines 295.
Shannon approach, good evening, Firefly 112, descending through flight level 135 for 8.
Okie dokie. So, Shannon
Maintain
approach.
flight level 80 upon reaching Firefly 112.
Okay, so I can't hear the controller. Let's have a listen. So, Shannon approach 121.4, and then we have Shannon Tower. Okay. 121.4. And what's the tower frequency? Shannon Tower is going to be 118.7. 118.7. Now again, lads, another trick is you can actually monitor one and be talking on the other. That's super handy, right? So we're listening in. If we wanted to listen to both, well, sure, we can just press both. That's mic
Captain,
selector.
You have an incoming direct message.
Ah, see, the system works. I don't have a line of sight with tower, so you won't hear approach or tower. I can only hear the aircraft. VATSIM. Yeah. Now again, I'm almost certain if I go into the options here, right? Let's see here now. Push to talk audio. No, I don't think I can get around this now. Yeah, so I've no line of sight, so that's why I can't hear them. Yeah, all right. So that's why we've an issue. Okay, so I
0 wings to -5 is established on runway 06.
Yeah, so we're just listening to other people. You can hop anywhere while connected to vPilot in observer mode. Yes. When you're on observer mode, they can't see you. They can't see you. Jack White, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. But that's the point. Like they can't see you. They can't see your movements. Do you know what I mean? So quick check on the radar. We're going to be focusing on Dublin now for Group B very shortly. But actually, I probably need to be in Shannon for this. I want to listen to this for a few minutes. Just bear with me, lads. Portal, get in there now. Into Shannon, the absolute brilliant thing. And where to spawn me? Sure, get over there to Niner. And this, you know, we should hear things a little bit better. So you guys have 20,000 feet in the middle active pause, so you can hear both. I think by default, if you hit slew or pause on vPilot, it should knock you.
Firefly 206, 15 miles east of Alcid, flight level 150, descending flight level 80. Information, Golf.
Firefly 206, Shannon approach, hello, reporting.
Walter, thank you for the follow.
Indicated airspeed 270 knots, Firefly 206.
Okay.
Firefly 206, Roger, reduce speed 250 knots.
Reduce speed 250 knots, Firefly 206.
Firefly 112, speed 250 knots or greater.
250 knots or greater, Firefly 112.
This is really, really good, lads. So you can hear the controllers. They're having to issue speed restrictions because they got to maintain the separation, right? So this is just, I mean, look at the lights, right? You can see aircraft from miles back. This is brilliant, right? So here we are at Shannon, and where we're currently listening to Shannon Control. Sorry, Shannon Approach. Let's bring up our little map here. So we can see that we have Firefly 112 and we have Firefly 206. Now 206, I think, was planning for a 2-4 landing. So he hasn't changed it in his flight. That's fine. We can see what this guy's doing. We can see what this guy is doing. The wind has changed mid-flight. That's why they need to move it, right? Jack says, what is the IFR ATC course? Jack,
Firefly 112, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1018.
Descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1018, Firefly 112.
It's a full course that we did designed to kind of break the ice and get people comfortable and confident talking on VATSIM. If you head on over to our website, twotonemurphy.com, go in and have a look at the IFR stuff. Every video, every session that we've done thus far, it's all recorded. So if you want to have a look at it from there, it's designed just to help folks, if they want, to get onto VATSIM, you know. It's been fun though. Like we've learned so much. That sounds like the chairman.
Dude, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Thanks, Muse. Nutty Slack, good evening. Okay, so we can see it from the radar screen here, which is actually pretty cool, right? This is VATSIM radar. If we want to look at SimAware, it's a little bit different. So there's 112, and we're getting bits of information, right?
Good evening, Shannon approach, Stowe. Firefly 602 is at flight level 132, down to 080.
Firefly 602, Shannon approach identified.
That's it.
Firefly 206, reduce speed 220 knots.
Reduce speed 220 knots, Firefly 206.
This is really good. Remember, lads, try and give the controllers
Shannon approach 55303, descending 11,000 flight level 1200, effectively to flight level 080 and inbound Deacon.
Firefly 303, Shannon approach, hello, identified.
Okay. Still good. Getting the information out. That's what it's all about. If you hit a speed wobble, oh Jesus, what do I say? Take a breath. Go again. Lads, you've heard tonight some other, other pilots on frequency, not in our group. Some are excellent. Some aren't. Right? The standard that I'm listening to now tonight from our guys, excellent. Like excellent. Do you know what I mean?
Firefly 112, cushion fly heading 220 degrees.
Heading 220 degrees, Firefly 112.
And Firefly 112, reduce speed 220 knots.
So they're getting vectored.
Speed 220 knots, Firefly 112.
Firefly 206, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1018.
Descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1018, Firefly 206.
Thanks, Jack. This is awesome. These are doing so very well, lads. And again, you can see the crack. This app here is brilliant. Stop picking on poor Dougal. Right? Show ATC. So, when you're flying this, here's another thing, lads. When you're flying on this and you connect your VATSIM to it, you can show ATC frequencies. It'll show them here, look. Isn't this super handy? See all this information here, look? Like, there is an absolute tonnage of information here for you, lads. Show ATC if you wish, right? Absolutely brilliant. Sasha, good to see you. Thanks for the follow. So, any moment, 112 will be handed over then to Tower. And I'd say we can see Dougal now. Where am I? 06. So there's another aircraft already on the ground here.
Firefly 112, resume our navigation back to Asgon.
Resume our navigation to Asgon, Firefly 112.
And Firefly 112 from Asgon, cleared ILS approach runway 2, cushion ILS approach runway 06, report established.
Say again, Firefly 112.
Firefly 112 from Asgon, cleared ILS approach runway 06, report established.
From Asgon, cleared for the ILS 06, report established, Firefly 112.
And Firefly 112, speed 200 knots.
Speed 200 knots, Firefly 112.
But this is how busy it gets, right? And that's, we can hear Josh, he's taking full control of the guys vectoring them in. And again, it's not all plain sailing from just, hey, I'm going to follow what my airplane is telling me. That's not the case. ATC, look at the spacing now. So when they were handed over to Josh, they were so close. Look at the spacing Josh has done now. Because he's got to get them landed. He's got to taxi them or, plan for a go around. He's got to do all of these things. All of these things, right? So for our Group B pilots, lads, I'll get you to start filing your flight plans on the Two Tone Murphy website. Get yourself spawned in to Dublin, and we should be good.
Firefly 112 established on the local line.
Firefly 112, thank you, speed 180 knots, maintain until 6 DME.
180 knots until was that 6 DME, Firefly 112.
Firefly 206, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descent altitude 3,000 feet, Firefly 206.
Firefly 602, reduce speed 220 knots.
200 knots for Firefly 602.
Firefly 602 negative, speed 220 knots.
Correction, 220 for Firefly 602.
Firefly 112, contact tower 118.7, bye-bye.
Tower 118.7, Firefly 112, bye-bye.
Let's jump.
Firefly 2.
Here's 117. Or 118.7. Let's listen in.
Shannon Tower, good evening, Firefly 112, 5 miles.
Firefly 112, Shannon Tower, good day, winds 360 degrees, 9 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 06, Firefly 112.
This is so cool. Look at the coverage we have from the guys at VATSIM. That's a huge shout out to the guys at VATSIM for tonight. I mean, that's multiple people taking time out of their own schedules to help us out. This is awesome.
Firefly 112 is on plan and roll to the end and vacate Delta 2.
All the way to the end and vacate Delta 2, Firefly 112.
So even the tower controller is he's trying to space them out a bit. Would that be cool? He could have departing aircraft, or he just wants them to use the full length of the runway. So that's okay. Okay, so the Group B pilots, these are the guys who are practicing tonight. They should have their call signs already issued. If you're brand new to the course, lads, we're at the stage of, we can't really pick you up at this moment. But do be sure to head over to our Discord, !Discord. That'll bring you in there. And you can drop me a DM and we'll see what we can do during the week. There's a lot of content you need to catch up on, but we'll see how it goes. The Group B pilots, you guys should have your information. We're going to get you started up now on Dublin, and I'll jump over then to that shortly. Very, very shortly. 702. Have we lost 702? Ryanair. Okay, so if someone was flying and they had a disconnect, just let us know. Because we're planning you tonight, obviously, but if it doesn't work and there's an issue, we'll get you into next week. Go on, Dougal! Go on, you divil, you! Look at the state of this. An absolute pro, look. Eamon, yes, of course, dude. Eamon, if you're around to fly tonight, jump in tonight. We'll get you sorted, man. Dougal has buttered the bread, right? Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So Dougal was the first...
Tower, good evening, Firefly 206, ILS runway 06.
Firefly 206, Shan Tower, good day, continue approach number 1.
Hello there.
Continue approach number 1, Firefly 206.
DNZ Cruise, welcome in, man. Just started watching Flight Sim and I'm a bit excited to know how do I start. Dude, you're in the right place, man. Any of the content on YouTube should help you out. Right in the centre line, yeah, an absolute boss, isn't he? And his instruction was go down to the deltas. Dougal, very, very well done, man. Like, that was just superb. Start to finish, that was superb. Yeah. I'll not be set up in time, but thanks anyway. Right, Grant, Eamon, try if you can.
Firefly 112, taxi Delta 2, Delta 1, stand 32.
Delta 2, Delta 1, stand 32, Firefly 112.
Nicely done.
Firefly 206, winds 360 degrees, 9 knots, runway 06, clear to land, roll to the end, vacate Delta 2.
Empire, good to see you.
Runway 06, clear to land, roll to the end and vacate Delta 2, Firefly 206.
And you're here for 22 months. Dude, thank you so much. Empire, hope you're well. Captain Butters just landed. Just wanted to join the fun. Flew from Paris to Shannon. Awesome ATC, really is. Captain Butters, great to see you, man. Adam is here. Good to see you, Adam. But yeah, Eamon, if you're still, if you have time during the week, get a bit of practice in. And if anyone, I don't know what my schedule's like this week, but if folks want to try something, let me know. Just say, Murph, can we do like a practice before we do our VATSIM stuff next week? Let us know. Let's see what we can do, right? Is there an age limit to join? I started flying VATSIM in January, February, so I know a good bit. I would have to wait for the next application. Walter, there's no, I think VATSIM has like, I don't know, 13 or something, I think. Again, there's quite a lot when it comes to the course material that we've covered. We have our slot times allocated for the folks who already got call signs and whatever else. But yeah, look, have a look back through all the course content. All the videos are there. And if you're feeling kind of happy with it and you know what you're doing, well, let us know. Hey, Scruffy Tam is here. Welcome in, Scruffy Tam. Good to see you, man. How are things? Dave Rendon, welcome in, Dave. We're here on doing a bit of VATSIMage with our course. This is the first flight. And they're doing absolutely brilliant. I had to log out from VATSIM. Radios change continuously. Squawk change automatically. Have all default ATC turned off. You're lost on this one. Okay. JV Hugh, don't worry, man. Right? If it happens, it happens. We'll put it down to a head scratcher. If you want, join us for Group B. Now, get yourself back into Dublin, but turn on Microsoft Flight Sim's multiplayer service, and you'll be able to do a thing there.
Oh, behave.
Dixie Viper's here. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. So, right, I'm going to be jumping over to our network now in a moment, but again, this is purely showing you how everyone is getting on, right? So we can see we got a couple of Firefly aircraft already in. There's more coming, I think. There's 006 on the way. That's going to be the last Firefly aircraft into Shannon tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Jesus.
Shannon, very good evening. It's contract 59 Kilo, 737-400, stand 28 Deltas on board 1018, clearance Dublin, please.
Contract 59 Kilo, Sean Tower, clear to Dublin, taking 3 Alpha departure, runway 06. Commit climb 5,000 feet, squawk 7656.
Thanks, give out.
Clear Dublin, digging 3 Alpha 06, 5,000 initial on squawk 7656, contract 59 Kilo.
Contract 59 Kilo, correct, port ready for push.
Shannon Tower, good evening, Firefly 602 is on final runway 06 established.
Firefly 602, Shannon Tower, good day, continue approach number 1.
Continue approach number 1, Firefly 602.
It's so busy.
Firefly 206, taxi Delta 2, Delta 1, stand 37.
Taxi.
We'll go back onto the approach controller. Because he has 303 and he's going to be picking up 006 here now in a moment, right? But this has been, they've been flawless, haven't they? Willow, how much? Thank you for the bits. They absolutely are, yeah. We rang ahead, DC Viper. Hopefully it wasn't pants. Brilliant. Scruffy Tam, hope you're well, man. Just an audio test. Audio 555, man. Brilliant. Okay, so we're on the... Now we can jump back to tower. Because we can see an aircraft here. He's about to come in, yeah? There was an interesting VATSIM official stream the other day. They went through a lot of information.
Firefly 602, winds 360 degrees, 7 knots, runway 06, clear to land, roll to the end, vacate Delta 2.
Runway 06, clear to land, roll to the end, vacate Delta 2, Firefly 602.
So see what I mean by listening in on frequency? You're trying to plan ahead, you're getting an idea. So if the controller were to say to you, hey, get on to Delta 2, you're not going to get caught out thinking, wait, what? You're listening to what's kind of happening ahead of you. Do you know what I mean? Can I breathe now? Dougal, so very well done, mate. Absolutely excellent. From start to finish. From start to finish, Dougal. Absolutely brilliant. I find VATSIM VF4 iffy in the US. Red Baron, it can happen. VF4 is actually more difficult, funny enough. IFR is a little bit easier. Dougal, you absolutely nailed it. Brilliant stuff. Fierce Wolf, thank you very much indeed. 33 months, man. Cheers. Dougal, that was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Everyone so far tonight, like, Jesus, lads. You can tell you've spent a bit of time researching, revising, and practicing. You can.
Good day, Tower Ryanair 99 reading my Bravo, requesting IFR appearing to Dublin as filed.
Ryanair 99 Bravo, Sean Target, cleared to Dublin, digging 3 Alpha departure, runway 06, initial climb 5,000 feet, squawk 2236.
Clear to Dublin via Diga 3 Alpha departure, runway 06, climb altitude 5,000, squawk 2236, Ryanair 99 Lima Bravo.
Ryanair 99 Bravo, reback correct, we're ready for push.
So when you start listening into other pilots on VATSIM, and it's not that, we're there, but we kind of are, you might spot a couple of issues or you might spot mistakes, right? And it's no one's job to point them out, but the fact that you're now able to identify, oh, your man forgot to say this, or, he said that wrong, that just proves your knowledge base has gone from whatever level when you started to wherever it is now. You know what I mean? Really, really good. Really, really good. So, this is fantastic. Another Firefly Air landing, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. And we still have other aircraft moving around. And we've got a couple of more lads inbound as well. And again, it's a challenging flight because the weather isn't all nice and rosy. It's windy, it's, there's a bit of turbulent air. And we threw you in at night time just to give you the added kind of a bit of a push, Mistakes are keepers. The point is communicate them all. 100%. 100% SkyCheck. The controllers made it easier than it might have been. Again, like when you have that level of control and that you have ATC coverage the entire flight, it's super handy. But it means your workload is up there because, well, you're constantly listening. You're not just going to Unicom and, you know what I mean? You're listening to everything and you're expecting a lot more information. Do you know what I mean? So another Firefly Air landing, absolutely beautiful. Plays on Firefly planes on landing, just like Ryanair. Brilliant. That would work, Epic Fool. I think that'd be an absolute freaking genius idea. Do you know, like if we just played that when an airplane landed, another fantastic landing by Firefly Air. I think that would work. We'll have a button that'll make the sound though. I used to have it. Where did I put that now? Jesus, lads, I used to have that button here somewhere. But listen, this is so great to hear how the lads are actually getting on. It's incredible. Like, we go back. Oh, here it is. Brilliant. Right? But like, we started off like this is week 9, right? It's incredible. It really, really is.
Julia Papa 22, Shannon, report ready to copy clearance.
Okay, so there's other aircraft now. They're going to be. Can we watch the landing?
Julia Papa 22, you are cleared left-hand VA4 circuits, not above 2,000 feet, runway 06, squawk 2601.
Who's that devil? Ooh.
2601 in the box is the left-hand circuit, not about 2,000 feet, Julia Papa 22.
Julia Papa 22, that's copy report ready.
So Julia Papa 22, VA4 circuits around Shannon. We've done this before. So he's flying VA4 around Shannon. So that's going to be, well, it's creating a workload for the controller, but again, there's no issue there. I mean, he's got 3 more arrivals. Let's have a look back at Dublin. They still got a few more heading out. So there's a Shamrock, Ryanair. Don't know who that is. FPO? Wonder who that one is. But isn't that cool? Like, I mean, you're looking at other aircraft thinking, well, where do these guys come from? Like, look at this guy, right? BCS 2960. He's actually flying all the way out from East Midlands. Isn't that class, isn't it? And like, you hear the accents of all the different controllers, but also the pilots. Like, it's an amazing experience when you fly this. Circuits at Shannon, a daily occurrence nowadays. It's awesome. So we have 303 inbound. Let's have a look here now. So that's a Cessna 414. So this guy would have got, what's your height? But he would have got slightly different routing than the lads in the airliners. He would have got a non-standard departure, and he probably would have got a non-standard arrival because, well, that aircraft type, it's not suitable for some of the SIDs or stars according to your flight plan. Again, you got to read up on that kind of stuff, but the controllers will tell you. A lot of the time they'll just say, okay, well, I'm not going to put that aircraft up there. I'll control them down here. And that's what most of them will do, you know. So this screen will change shortly.
Shannon Tower 55303, visual approach to runway 06.
Visual approach, nice.
55303, Sean Target A, continue approach number 1.
Continue approach number 1, 55303.
So there goes our Cessna. He's doing VFR circuits, and then we have a Firefly coming in for a visual approach. Visual approach means exactly what it sounds. Visual.
Firefly 303, winds 360 degrees, 7 knots, runway 06, cleared to land, roll to the end, vacate Delta 2.
Runway to the end, vacate Delta 2, clear to land, runway 06, 55303.
Brilliant.
Juliet Papa 22, cleared left-hand downwind, report downwind.
Brilliant.
Cleared left-hand downwind and report intentions on other downwind, Juliet Papa 22.
Jesus, it's literally Irish punctuation.
Firefly 303 is revised traffic information, Cessna 172 and left-hand downwinds, runway 06.
So the controllers are saying to 303, hey, you've other traffic in the vicinity. He's not in your way.
22, Cessna citation, 3 miles final, runway 06.
Juliet Papa 22 will report when I see the Cessna citation, 3 mile final, runway 26.
So all 303 would have to say, Roger, we'll look for the traffic, or I can see the traffic, or you know what I mean? They might ask him, report traffic in sight. He didn't. If the controller said...
Juliet Papa 22, aircraft in sight.
Copy, thanks. Extend downwind until advised.
Extend downwind until advised, Juliet Papa 22.
So the guy in the Cessna, he can see the incoming Firefly. So the controller now knows that he can see him because he told him I can see him. So what he's telling him now, just extend your downwind, as in go down a good bit more, because he wants to get this guy in for a landing. Yeah?
Contract 59 Kilo for taxi, please.
Contract 59 Kilo taxi Alpha, hold short runway 06, and do you require a backtrack?
Alpha, hold short 06, negative, contract 59 Kilo.
Roger.
So at this point, lads, we have our Group B pilots. They're all jumping in now to Dublin Tower. And they're going to be getting their ATIS information, they're going to be filing their flight plans, and they're going to start rambling out of Dublin, in which I'm going to take control of them from Shannon approach. So they'll be giving me a shout about 10 miles before they get to Deegan, and I'll look after them from there. So we'll watch this landing, and then we're going to jump over to our own frequency.
Finals, clear base and finals, runway 06 for 4 finals.
Cleared base and finals behind the landing aircraft. Juliet Papa 22 report final.
As you advised, that aircraft will roll to the end of the runway.
Okay, and I'm expecting the aircraft to roll to the end of the runway. Juliet Papa 22.
What server is going to be? Southeast Asian server. Dougal says, in my honest opinion, this course has been better than some of the paid courses. Oh, nice, man. Listen, I mean, if you're enjoying it and you're getting use out of it, that's what we're after. That's what we're after. Oh, Jesus, did he make it? Uh-oh. He was there and now he disappeared. I wonder, did he get a crash to desktop? Oh, Jesus, I wonder, did he? He landed anyway, that's the main thing. But if he managed to, like, get a CTD, I wouldn't be at all worried.
Ryanair 99 Lima Bravo, pushing start period, QNH 1018, hectopascals.
Oh no, he's still there, he's still there.
Clear for pushback and start of QNH 1018, hectopascals, Ryanair 99 Lima Bravo.
There he is. Ooh. Watch your speed, dude. Watch your speed. On the anchors. I think that's just VATSIM.
And Juliet Papa 22 finals from Richard 6.
Juliet Papa 22, Roger, continue approach.
Continue approach, Juliet Papa 22.
Yeah, VATSIM could be having moments, so we'll try not to worry. Okay, so here comes in the other guy for VFR.
55303, taxi Delta 1, Delta 2.
Taxi Delta 1, Delta 2, 55303.
Juliet Papa 22, winds 360 degrees, 7 knots, 0.
He's in anyway. Yep. I wholeheartedly believe that that's because Murph learned with everyone. I would agree. I would agree.
Contract 59 Kilo behind the Cessna 172, landing from 06 and boys behind.
Okay, excellent job to the guys on VATSIM.
172, line up 110.
Disconnect from vPilot. I'm now off the network, and from here back to my little hairy plane. Yes. And Rambog, do I need to turn on the connector? I will turn on multiplayer. And I shall be on Southeast Asian server. I don't think I need it. I do, however, need my scope. Hello, scope. So I am Shannon Approach. I am connected. Can I see some aircraft? I can. I can see some aircraft up here, look. Sweet. Okay, so let's have a look at Dublin. Jesus. Let's have a look at Dublin. So this is our version, if you like, of what we're doing tonight, right? What we're looking at here is Group B. The Group B pilots, the whole plan was for you guys to watch what Group A we're doing tonight, yeah? And then you guys get to fly it on our own network. So we're no longer on VATSIM, we're on our own network. And the idea behind this is our last practice session, because next week, well, we all jump over to VATSIM as well. Now, the chances of having the same amount of coverage like we had tonight on VATSIM, you can't plan it. Thanks, Gibbo. You can't plan that. We just don't know. We could only have Dublin Approach, we could only have Dublin Tower, and then it's Unicom. Or we could have the very same what we have tonight. That's the thing with VATSIM. There's no real tight scheduled times. But the idea being here is, well, so far, we can hear all these guys. Well, you'll be able to hear them now when I jump in and listen. Have a listen.
Altitude 4,000 feet. Passing altitude 2,500 feet, route direct to Peleg. Departure frequency with Unicom 122.8, squawk 6621.
Okay.
Could you please repeat that slowly? Thank you.
Firefly 406. It's going to be a non-standard departure. You are cleared to Shannon via Peleg, runway 28 right. After departure, track runway extended center line, stop climb altitude 4,000 feet, passing 2,500 feet, route direct to Peleg, departure frequency with Unicom 122.8, squawk 6621.
Now, if anyone's getting stuck, and I'll jump in here as well, right?
Clear to Shannon on the non-standard route. Clear to Peleg 28 right. Departure. Runway 28 right. Flight level, was it 40? Route direct to Unicom 122.8. Squawk 6621.
Firefly 406, just confirm. After departure, track extended center line, stop climb altitude 4,000 feet, passing altitude 2,500 feet, route direct to Peleg, departure frequency with Unicom 122.8.
So if you're saying to yourself, how are they going to figure it out? Lads, I hate to say this, but I have to say it. RTFM, it's in the manual. What ATC?
5505 at stand GA.
What's actually being said here, right, is exactly what's being said by ATC. You need to read the manual. You need to see it. And this is the last lesson we did. Depending on what ATC coverage is available, a non-standard departure, that's a departure without a SID, may get the following. If no departure controller, i.e. tower is the last highest controller, well, they're going to say Firefly, whatever your call sign is, clear to Shannon via Peleg, runway, in this case, is going to be 28 right. After departure, track runway extended center line, stop climb, whatever the altitude is going to be, passing 2,500 feet, route direct Peleg. Departure frequency with Unicom 122.8, and your squawk, whatever your squawk is. You have to read the manual. If at this stage you can't get any of the wording correct, it just means you haven't read what's been provided. You have to read the manual, lads, right? Do not expect to know everything off the bat. That's why we're doing this, right? So that last pilot, I would highly suggest go back and read this and then jump back on. Otherwise, you're going to give yourself a complete headache.
Firefly 207, push and start approved, face east, QNH 1016.
And Firefly 207, push and start approved, face east, QNH 1016. Firefly.
And you're going to hear, right? Whoa, Grizzle, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys are all keeping very well. You join us here with some VATSIM training. Tonight we had our first event. We had our first group of pilots transition from our own network onto the VATSIM network, and they've completed their flight. We've now started working on our second group of pilots, and these guys are flying on our own network. This is their last night's training before they ramble on over to VATSIM next week. So the things we're trying to point out is on our own network, we're going to be a little bit slower. We're going to try and explain things. You know, it's a very calm and safe environment in order to learn. But there's still a requirement from you know, the pilots to be able to read up and do the stuff. You got to read the course material, because if ATC is asking you to do something, the answers are all here. And like, this is broken down in a full flow. So this is an important note. I mean, this is the very start of the revision lesson we did, right? Depending on what ATC coverage is available, a non-standard departure, i.e. a departure without a SID, you may get the following. So if there's no other controller above the tower frequency, you'll get that. If you do have an airborne frequency after tower, you'll get this. And then it starts from the very beginning, all the way from your clearance, push back and start, taxi, takeoff, departure, en route, your approach and your arrival, and then you land, taxi in, and shut down. It is the entire script. And the only things you need to really change would be your call sign, the active runways, you know, the information for the weather, where you're parking, all that sort of stuff. But in terms of the flow and the structure of the conversations, you have to read this. Keep it open beside you. But if tonight you're jumping in without having read any of this, you're going to struggle. You're just going to struggle. All right. This is all for free. All of this entire course is for free. What's in it for me is try and get a bit more activity in Irish airspace. But you can fly this anywhere. It's tailored somewhat for Irish standards within the ICAO kind of universe of flying, right? There's a bit of FAA stuff in here as well. You know, I talk about some of the differences between flying in Europe versus flying in the States. We'll do the States at a later stage. But communication practice, this is what you need to work on. There are only 3 steps when it comes to ATC, communicating to ATC. There's only 3 things you need to do. You have a request, you'll get your instruction, and then you got to confirm it back, or you got to read back. That's all it is. Those 3 things, they never change. You know what I mean? James Fuller, thank you very much, dude. So Grizzle, dude, hope you had a great stream, man. And to all your viewers, you're very welcome in. This is all available if you head on over to twotonemurphy.com/IFR. I think to get there, you have to register with the website. It doesn't cost anything. We sell your details to, you know, people of Leitrim. They find out what you have for Brett. No, we don't. You just sign up to the website. We keep your email so we can send you an email when we're going to do something like this again. That's all. But you get access then to, like, there's downloads, there's all that sort of jazz, right? But you can get all of this there, and it's free, right? It was a great time. Nice. Not Leitrim. Oh, not Leitrim, right? So again, lads, just make sure tonight you're reading through this. If you haven't read this and you're going to give it a shot, chances are you're going to struggle. And no one wants you to struggle. We want you to be able to do so well. But you got to help us out a little, all right? So, I'm still on the Dublin Tower frequency.
1,500 feet, route direct to Peleg. Departure frequency is Unicom, 122.8.
Passing altitude 2,500, route direct to Unicom, to Peleg, Unicom 122.8.
Firefly 406, read back correct. Call for push and start.
Nice, you got there in the end. Hey, MDA is here. Good to see you.
Firefly 426, off stand 137 Alpha, request taxi.
Okay. I better jump into my little box. Right, so I'm staffing up Shannon approach. So what's going to happen here, lads, very similar to what we've seen already with the VATSIM lads. This is Ireland, as you can see. Yes, this is a scope. This is a radar scope. Eurocontrol, or Euroscope, this is called. Very similar to what the guys in VATSIM use. Very similar. but it's working off Microsoft Flight Sims network, meaning we have Xbox pilots and PC pilots working on this, right? Rambog is a genius. He designed it. Well, he designed the gadget to make it work. But anyway, what I'm looking at here is, so I can see Firefly 305. He's on his departure out of Dublin, runway 28 right. Peleg is where all the flights tonight should be getting routed to, I think. And once they get to me, well, we're going to be landing them into Shannon. Now, the active runway in Shannon it should now be 24. So if I go down to Shannon, 24 is now active. So we're going to be landing the guys into 24. Okay. To help me along, because, you know, I don't have every single waypoint there. Well, this is roughly what the star is going to look like, right? So it is that of the Deegan to Echo. So they're going to go to Deegan, Ulsit, and Terdo. So I can see Deegan, Ulsit, and Terdo. We also have a controller looking after Shannon Tower. Gibbo was there when we all ramble over to him. So, aircraft, typically your airliners, the fast-moving wagons, yeah? Well, they're categories C and D aircraft. They're absolutely fine doing this star, right? No issues at all. If your aircraft is not an airliner, if you're in a Vision Jet or smaller, something small, right? Well, expect to get a non-standard departure. Basically what it means, ATC are going to tell you, hey, after you take off, I want you to go that direction for however long, and then, you know, turn and go to this location. That's all they mean by that. They're going to explain to you what they're doing. Likewise, once you get into Shannon approach zone, that's where I'm going to pick you up. If you're in the larger aircraft, well, I'm going to keep you on the normal star, no issue. If you're in a smaller aircraft, chances are I'm going to give you vectors. All right. So I could say, grand, you know, turn right heading 290 degrees, all that sort of jazz. All right. We need a lesson to how to file local, just circuits for us GA guys. So Kazaki, if you just want to do VF4 circuits, you just file VF4 circuits. You put it in the remarks. Your departure is whatever airport, and your arrival is whatever airport. Balls, is it 006 Gibbo, is it? Jesus. Sorry lads, 06 in Shannon. Good man, Gibbo. Right, now all is well. Right, 06. Right, Jesus, that could have been absolutely hilarious had Gibbo not have said. Right, so 06 is active in Shannon. I have it on my chart, I didn't have it on the other. So that's at 06 down there. So this is what we're going to be looking for. Peleg, that's when I want to kind of say, hey, I'm going to start talking to you. And what's different for the Group B guys versus the VATSIM guys, well, VATSIM have Shannon Control online. Shannon Control, yeah? So they're picking up all the pieces between both areas. Philly Cheese, welcome in. Tonight, we don't have that. We have Dublin Tower, we have Shannon Approach, and Shannon Tower, meaning the gap or the distance between Peleg and Deegan, that's Unicom. So you want to be giving Shannon a shout when you're 10 miles to the east of Deegan. That's when I'm expecting your call. So until that happens, I'm kind of just sitting here and just worrying about, you know, who's going to cut the grass in the morning. But I'm tracking aircraft moving in. So I can see the first aircraft, 305, on his way to Peleg. I don't see any other aircraft taking off just yet. Although there is movement here. But they're not on my scope. So now we just keep an eye on it. Right? So yeah. So far, lads, I have to say, for the VATSIM guys who've done that, absolutely stellar stuff tonight. Absolutely stellar stuff tonight. And anyone who's been watching, you know, you guys are going to be able to do, you'll be able to do all of this on VATSIM next week. That's our plan, right? That's what we're aiming for. So hopefully it all works, all right? Departure times, Rambog, you're probably getting down to maybe 3 minutes now, if you want, if you can hear. Hang on, I'll drop you a message. Let me see. Okay. So VATCord controller is now offline. Shannon Tower has now disconnected on VATSIM. And if any of the guys are here in the stream, any of the controllers from VAT Air, lads, thank you very, very much indeed. This has been nothing short of absolutely brilliant, and your controlling has been very friendly, very, very professional, And hopefully anyone who's wanting to fly in Irish airspace, well, there's a great bunch of lads looking after the entire FIP, or the FIR. So, do be sure to fly in Ireland. Patrick, how are you, Patrick? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Let me see. Seems delay is long taxi. They must respond to the other side of the airport. Okay. Again, lads, it's all about reading through that manual, right? If you can read through the manual, it's effectively telling you what to say, and then you're going to spend your time just keep flying this route, fly it on VATSIM, get the practice up there, because what you learn here, you're going to apply it to any other airport or any other airspace. Do you know what I mean? Now, can I do a query Echo India November? I can. So this is the current weather situation down in Shannon. Winds are 3607 knots. Scattered clouds at 28, broken at 31, temperature 12, QNH 1018, no SIG. Okay. Sweet. It's thereabouts. Okay, sweet. Okay, so there's the first one, 305. That's an Airbus A320. 426 is now moving. He's in an Airbus A319, so that's the next guy in. So the instruction that they would have received from Rambog would have been to say, hey, after departure, this is what it is you need to do. And that's what the lads are doing. So I can see 305 is now a Peleg. They're going to give me a shout soon. What I'm going to say to them is, well, you got to, I'll read my own manual. It's the same one you guys have. And hello there. It's purely going to be a case of, okay, you're at this location. Sweet. Where are we going to next? All right. So if you go up here, what was the page? 191. So that's, let me see, Shannon approach. So this is what the pilot is going to say. They're going to say Shannon approach, Firefly, and whatever the call sign is. 10 miles east of Deegan, descending whatever altitude, what information that they have on the Deegan to Echo, I think it is, isn't it? Or is it Delta? It's the Deegan to Echo, yeah? Deegan to Echo. And then when we jump them over to Shannon Tower, Shannon Tower is going to be 118.7. Deegan to Echo. And what was the other thing I need to know? It's runway 06 is active. The ATIS, right? So if I want to listen to the ATIS, I just jump in and listen to the ATIS. Have a listen. So this is all on our Discord, yeah?
Shannon Airport Information Zulu. 2030 Zulu. Wind 360 at 7 knots. Variable between 330 and 030 degrees. Visibility 10 or more kilometers. Scattered clouds at 2800, ceiling 3100 broken. Temperature 12, dew point 8. QNH 1018 hectopascals. Landing and departing runway 06. Someone is pressing buttons. Advise controller on initial contact that you have information Zulu.
It was I pressing buttons. So that's our own ATIS, right? And again, this is designed...
Shannon Airport Information Zulu. 20...
Wait, this is designed... Oh, Jesus Murph. Right, I'm in the right channel now. This is designed for us to be able to control what's going on, yeah? So we're using our own network. So this is my script. The pilot will contact me saying, Shannon approach, Firefly, yada yada. This is what I'm doing. I'll respond, Shannon approach identified, cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend if I need to give them a descend, and then report when established. Or I might have to vector them. We all heard what Josh had to do tonight on VATSIM. He gave them massive vectors. Very complex stuff. And you guys absolutely nailed it. He nailed it. So I can see 305, I can see 426, and we should have another handful of lads departing soon. How's the VATSIM crack? Balbro, good to see you. Frankie, good to see you. Lovely weather, lovely weather. Yeah, it was. Yesterday was beautiful. Today, not so much. Not so much. Now, I might need to turn up my microphone for this because I think the lads say they can't hear me right. Right, that should be a little bit better. Hopefully they can hear me and I'm not gone too loud for you lads. But we'll see what the crack is, right? What am I doing here? Over there, Murph. Okay. Now again, if you're a pilot and you're flying with Group B, if you hear us giving corrections, because we will give more corrections tonight because we want to iron out if things aren't said correctly, we're going to explain to you, hey, listen, you got to say it this way. So don't get a fright if I talk to you, or Gibbo, or Rambog, we say, no, do it this way, right? This is all about learning. This is all about learning. This is our last proper chance to give this a full rehearsal before next week, you know? So, Harry, I am looking after Shannon Approach at the moment. Rambog is looking after Dublin Tower. Gibbo's going to look after Shannon Tower. And I'm just expecting now a couple of aircraft to come in, although we need to get more airborne quick. We're up the yard. Let's see what happens. Now, let's see. Have me script? Yes. And we have our information here. Okay, here's a pilot. So that's someone jumping onto my frequency, so they'll give me a call here now in a moment. Transition level is 6,000. And if I wanted to, I can just jump in here.
Approach, Firefly 305.
Okay, so we'll jump on and start talking. Firefly 305, Shannon Approach. So on initial call, you just want to tell them, who are you, where are you, and what do you know? So it'll be Firefly 305, 10 miles from Diggin, information Zulu. That'll be the call.
Shannon Approach, Firefly 305, receiving radio level 1, unable to hear. Hold on.
Hang on. Radio check. Jesus. Firefly 305, Shannon Approach, radio check.
Shannon Approach, radio check, very faint, 1-1.
You'll want to turn up your, maybe just check your Discord audio, make sure it's on full.
That was slightly louder.
Okay, I'll come back to there one moment. Gibbo, how read me?
Say something else, Murph?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, 5x5.
Sweet. Okay, thanks, man. And Firefly 305, just make sure your Discord audio for me is all the way up the road.
Roger that. 5x4 probably at the moment. Just about hear you.
Okay, if you right-click my username and then you can increase its audio. I don't want to deafen them because like I can do louder stuff, but then I'll be like shocking loud for everyone else.
Volume is up full.
And Firefly 305, Roger, how do you read?
3-3, but can hear you.
Roger. Firefly 303, Shannon Approach, identified. Cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals, and report when established on the localizer.
Hello there.
Hello there.
That was Firefly 305, not 303.
Oh, shite, I did the wrong one. Correction, Firefly 305. Cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals, and report when established on the localizer.
Cleared on the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend altitude 3,000 feet. Will report when established on the localizer, QNH 1018 hectopascals, Firefly 305.
We'll get there, lads. We'll get there. Okay. It works for some, not for others. Okay, so 305, he's now heading down to 3,000 feet. He's going to ramble in. He'll give us a shout back when he is established. We have 505 coming up here next. So trying to get out of Dublin, lads, if you notice, or if it's taking, quite that time, just remember of where you're spawning in. And again, you want to make life a little bit easier. Try not to spawn in 20 miles away from the runway. You know what I mean? You want to have relatively a short taxi. This should be interesting. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. So we've 305 inbound, and we'll have 426 giving us a shout shortly. That's a PC-12, that's an A320, so he's going to be faster, I would think. When doing radio checks, people say 5x5, all good and hunky-dory. What other numbers can you use? I see some streams where audio is less than optimal, but they always say 5x5. Shirley Dev, again, it's actually in our ground school document. If you go into that, it'll show you what the readability is. So it's usually 1x5 or 5x5. Oh, DeLorean is in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys had a great stream. You join us here. Let me fix my audio.
Hello there.
You join us here with some VATSIM, and well, we have the guys now on our own network. The first group flew on VATSIM tonight. They completed their first flight, and well, we're practicing with Group B. They're going to fly tonight on our own network, and then next week they ramble on over to VATSIM. So you're very welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys had a great stream. And DeLorean, thank you so very, very much indeed. Have a very pleasant evening. And yeah, welcome in, lads. Hope you're all keeping very well. If this is all new to you, flying on VATSIM, we're running we're nearly at the end of it, a full course. And if I studied the ground school document, watch past VFR and IFR vids, would I be able to get some training? Walter, you can give it a shot. I mean, if you feel you're ready, why not? Every single video is there. The ground school document is there. We've made all this available for you for free. So yeah, man, I mean, if you feel confident,
hello there,
give it a shot. Okay, so we got a couple of departures now coming out of Dublin. And well, let's see what happens, right? Less irritating, thank you for the follow. Great name, great name. So we have 305 working his way in. These guys are no factor. So 305, let's have a now look. It's like pure nighttime now. So there he is. That is 305. That's in there. That's an A320. So his instruction was descend now down to 3,000 feet, follow the approach. He's clear on the approach. And he's going to give us a shout when he's established on the localizer. Once he's established, I'll then hand him over to Shannon Tower and they'll bring them in from there. So runway 6 is active in Shannon and writing it up there. Runway 06 is active in Shannon. So this is purely a matter of just getting all our pilots in. And if you're unsure what to say or how to say it, just make sure you read the ground school document. Here's Fanny, you having issues? So you're saying the autopilot won't turn on. Make sure the
approach Firefly 426 20 DME from Diggin, flight level 160.
One second now. For a second there, I thought I like deleted everything. That would have been hilarious. Firefly 426, Shannon approach, identified. Report when overhead digging.
Report when overhead digging, Firefly 426.
So he was a little bit far out. I don't need to do much there. Now, sorry, Muse, if you're having an issue with your aircraft, make sure it's fully set up. Flaps are in, speeds are good, engine set is in C, right? So yeah, just make sure, and because I've had a couple of issues like that before. Sometimes the throttle isn't actually sitting in the right spot, and you won't get your autopilot on. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so 305 is looking good. 426 is going to call us back in a couple of moments. Just he was a little bit far out. So I can jump onto him now very, very shortly. So we 505 and a PC12. Remember, lads, if you're now on Unicom, it's up to you lot to make sure you stay clear of other traffic. So I can see that we have an A320. He's climbing up to 900. And I can see Firefly 505. He should only be at 4,000. Because he's in a PC12. So can anyone verify what 505 altitude is at? Because I can't see him here on my scope just yet. But if you were given a stop climb or an altitude of that, yeah, hold it. That's it. Don't go above it. You know what I mean? Okie doke. So let me see. Euroscope. Just try, didn't work. No go around tonight. The rabbits are napping. Nice. Yeah, we need to keep it fairly lit because it's you know what I mean? Now that's a King Air 350, so he's GA. Keep these guys together. Who's Firefly 505, lads? Just tried, didn't work. Very strange, Muse. The aircraft is out to get you. Let's see how you can go. Okay, so 426 is going to give us a shout here now in a moment. We'll talk to him. Bring up the mic volume. Hope you get your devil. Okay. I'm going to talk to him now. Firefly 426, Shannon approach. You are cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals. Report when established on the localizer.
Cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend flight level, descend 3,000 feet. Sorry, can you repeat Firefly 426?
Yeah, Firefly 426. You are cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals, and report when established on the localizer.
Cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06, descend 3,000 feet. Will report when on localizer, QNH 1018 hectopascals, Firefly 426.
Perfect. So just to explain here, I see the question coming in. So at this altitude, no. Quas, what we're doing here, we've no scheduled departures. So what I'm focusing on very much so is just the communication with the guys. If we had departures going out of there, yeah, I'd probably give them vectors. We'll do all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. But for this, I'm just trying to keep it as straightforward as I can, because we're just going to direct them into the ILS, get them down to 3,000. Not throw them too many curveballs, but the idea here is, I know we don't have departures scheduled. These are just arrivals, so it's relatively straightforward just to get them in. But again, like these pilots who are practicing tonight, the big show is next week for them on VATSIM, so we're going to try and use tonight for any potential issues. We want to iron them out here. You know what I mean? Or at least that's the hope. Now, again, Firefly 505. Who is that, lads? Who's 505 again? Is that Larger Life, is it? I better jump on to Unicom. Firefly 505. This is Shannon approach. Will we get an answer?
Shannon approach, Firefly 505. Press your message.
505, what's your current altitude?
Not flight level 990
Okay, and were you given a stop climb of 4,000 feet by any chance?
Yeah. I given stop climb at 4,000 feet by 5505.
Okay, and what did you file for? Did you file for 4,000 or did you file a cruise altitude of 9,000?
I filed for 990 flight level.
Okay, so I'm going to bump you back down to 4,000, right? You don't need to be at 9, and the only reason why I'm doing this, just for this, because you're technically, you're in between kind of GA and one of the faster moving airplanes, right? So we're going to keep you at 4,000 because I'm going to keep the non-standard aircraft, if you like, at around 4,000. So when ready, just descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Roger, vehicle 55505.
Good man, thanks. Okay. So usually when you're on VATSIM, you put in your cruising altitude, right? And for this, if you're in general aviation, PC-12 is kind of borderline, right? But if you're in general aviation, just give it about 4,000 feet. Like a Cessna 172, you're not going to send him up to flight level 9 or 0. There's no point. He'll take him all day. If I was flying and I was told to get up to flight level 90, are you paying the bill? Right? The aircraft doesn't like that. Well, it does, but like, there's no need for it. We're going to keep it down at 4,000. And the reason being
Shannon
is...
Control, Firefly 426. Could we slow down to 210 knots? Firefly 426.
Firefly 426, what's your current speed?
220 knots, Firefly 426.
Roger, you can reduce speed now to 200 knots, 200 if able.
A-firm, 200 knots, Firefly 426.
So the idea being is you want to make sure that you're below the constraint. There's 250 knots restriction under 10,000 feet. Do you know? So, yeah. What's this now? That's a C25. What's a C25, lads? That's a jet, isn't it? Let's see. So if you're general aviation, try and keep the old altitude low. So I think 207 is the same going in a King Air. Again, if you're on Unicom, that's why I had to separate these two. They were too close. They were just too close. Citation, thank you. Citation, right, he's fast moving. So you guys don't have the advantage of this radar, right? But you do have your VFR map, and you can absolutely see where traffic is. Just hit V by default. That's your VFR map. So it should load in these aircraft in a moment. It probably won't. It should do. But I can see that there was two guys having a very close kind of a conflict. So when you're flying on VATSIM, it's very easy because we can use the websites like, you know, VATSIM radar, and we'll get an absolute overview, you know, of what's going on. We'll see aircraft left, right, all around us, which is super handy, right? When we're on our Group B sessions, we don't have the same overview. So you'll just have to rely on what the controllers are telling you. But again, it doesn't really matter what we tell you or what controllers advise you. I mean, our job is, well, we got to do what they ask us to do, or to the best of our abilities. Read back what we're being asked to do, carry out the instruction, and take it from there. We hope. Okay, so back onto your scope here, Murph. So I can see Firefly 305. He's descended now 3,000 feet, and he's going to be giving me a shout when he's established, and then I'm going to give him a hand over to Shannon Tower, and that's going to be Gibbo. So we're doing well.
Shannon approach, Firefly 207.
Firefly 207, Shannon approach, go ahead.
Firefly 207 is 9 nautical miles from Peleg east.
Firefly 207, Roger. A little bit early for me. Report back when 10 miles from Deegan.
Report back when 10 miles from Deegan, Firefly 207.
Sweet. Okay, 305 should be very close to that.
Established on the localizer for runway 06, Firefly 305.
Firefly 305, Roger. Contact Shannon Tower 118.7. Bye-bye.
Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7, Firefly 305. Goodbye.
Good job. Good job. Excellent stuff. The Somnium. The Somnium. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. Okay, good stuff. Right, it's starting to happen now. So we can see 426. He's all right. Next aircraft coming in is going to be 007. Bond. Blonde Bond. Now let's have a look at the lads here. So we have a 350. He's at 9er. He's at 4. He's at 4. That's good spacing. And then
baby.
Jesus! Old Veteran 965, 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Scott, thank you very, very much indeed. Outstanding generosity, my guy. And lads, if you just received a tier 1 sub with thanks to Old Veteran 965, do be sure to say thanks. No, it's Grey. The name's Bond. Grey Bond. Brilliant. Let me see. We got 10 flyers. This is great, lads. This is great. Okay.
Shannon approach, good evening. Firefly 007 is at 16,000 feet inbound for the Diga 2 Echo arrival, runway 06.
Firefly 007, Shannon approach identified. You are cleared for the ILS approach for runway 06. Descend flight level 80 and report overhead Ulset.
Cleared for the Diga 2 Echo approach, ILS, runway 06. Descend flight level 080 and will report when over Ulset, Firefly 007.
Good stuff, Muse. He was on the ball, wasn't he? Hey, kill Dead Tread. Kill Dead Dread Ted. I got there in the end. Welcome in. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in ages. Hope you're well. Okay, I think our first aircraft is about to land. We have 426 coming in there now. He's at 3,000 feet. He's good. Muse is now descending. We're going to get him down to about 8,000, hopefully by Ulset. 505 and 207 are inbound. 308 is coming in a little bit hot, so this is going to create a bit of a challenge. Let's see what happens. This should be fun. I don't see any other aircraft. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we've 4 more to come in. I don't see them just yet, though. Old in jeans, young in jeans. Indeed, right? Oh, so far so good, lads. You're doing very, very well. Multiplayer bug. Hang on. We're fine, grand. Okay, good stuff, lads. Sweet. So what's happening here now? Look, be the Janie. So here's an arrival coming into Shannon. Beautiful Firefly air livery. Look at the state of that, lads. Look at the absolute cut of it. Excellent stuff, dude. Streeter, that was really, really good, man. Excellent stuff. You're going like just excellent. So we have a 319 out there. I don't see Muse on me gadget or anyone else for that matter. So once I have them on my scope, I'm not too worried. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's have a look here now. So we're just focusing on getting these guys landed. I mean, that's the idea, right? Let's have a look. So, okay, yeah. So far, so good. Duplicate. Uh-oh. Duplicate. Oh, that's okay. So there's... What are you in? You are a 788. Oh, Jesus, right, okay. 737. Okay, a couple of more coming in. This is going to get interesting because, they're, you know, spacing is going to be savage. 9,000, 4,000. These lads are relatively okay altitude wise, so we should be good, right? Let's see what happens, sports fans. So we're waiting on 426. He'll be giving us the shout shortly to say established. 007 should be down at 80 at Ulset. Then we'll give him a full descend after that. And then the rest of the posse are moving well. There's another 7-3, so a couple of 7-3s coming in. This is nice. Let's see how we get on. So these guys who are in the general aviation, right, I'm going to be giving them vectors. Now, they'll still get the ILS, but I'm going to give them vectors, right? Walter, you take care. My dude. So these guys are going to get a non-standard approach. So I'm going to give them vectors, effectively, right? So I'll probably give them 270 and then turn them south. Something like that. We'll see how we go, right? So Muse is descending nicely.
Shannon approach, Fire 5505, 10 miles from Digan, with information Alpha, request ILS runway 24.
Firefly 505, Shannon approach, identified. You are cleared for the ILS approach. I want you to turn right, heading 270 degrees.
Cleared for ILS runway 24. Turn right, heading 270 degrees, Firefly 505.
And Firefly 505, just to confirm, it will be runway 06.
I submitted the runway 24. I can do that. 55505.
Negative, active runway is 06.
Roger, vehicle 55505.
So if ATC give you a runway and you're saying, it's all right, I'd rather go this one, it won't work, lads. It just won't work. 505, don't worry, I'll give you full vectors going in. So I'll give you headings. You just need to make sure you're in heading mode, and then I'll give you clearance down to runway 06. So for the moment, just fly at heading 270 degrees.
Flying heading 270 degrees. And thank you, 55505.
Communications, what we're after, lads.
Established on the localizer, runway 06, Firefly 426.
Firefly 426, roger. Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. See ya.
Contact Shannon Tower 118.7, Firefly 426. Thank you, good night.
Good stuff. Muse is nearly at Ulset. 505 is now on a heading of 270. That's roughly going to take him out of harm's way. 207 will follow. 308 is coming in, but he's a little bit higher. He's at 900. 306 is very high, but that's okay. I think we got two left after this.
Firefly 007 reporting just up flying overhead also.
Firefly 007, roger, descend altitude to 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals.
Descend to 3,000 feet, QNH is 1018 hectopascals, Firefly 007.
Okay, he's doing good. Okay, so far so good. Murph, even though VATSIM is not my thing, I gotta say it's been awesome watching this unfold over the last couple of months. Even I can appreciate the work you and the team put in. Kudos and hats off. Airlock Dog, thank you very, very much. Like, lads, it's not for everyone, right? I mean, look, I'll always recommend VATSIM because it's a great way of expanding your flight sim experience, right? It's a new world of aviation stuff. But, you know, there's a time and a place, roughly the same time last year.
Shannon approach, Firefly 207.
Firefly 20...
miles east of Deegan.
Firefly 207, Shannon approach, roger. Turn right heading 270 degrees. Expect the vectors for runway 06.
Turn right, heading 270 degrees. Expect vectors for runway 06, Firefly 207.
This should be fun. There's good spacing here, so let's see what happens. But yeah, we did this roughly the same time last year for the VFR stuff. This is the IFR stuff. And then in 2 weeks' time, we start a new series. And we're going to be checking out different volcanoes in the sim. That's going to be different. But, you know, I think there's enough of us. We'll 100% we're going to include some VATSIM flights into our content. We'll organise maybe a VATSIM group flight because I think that could be super fun. And you know, we'll see how we get on from there. Okay, so far so good. Firefly 505, Shannon approach.
Shannon approach 55505. Pass your message.
And Firefly 505, descend to altitude 3,000 feet. Yeah, it should be good.
Altitude 3,000 feet, 55505.
Yeah, it should be good, Babel. It'll be fun. I'm sure there are some frayed nerves. Yeah, 100%. But they're doing so well. They're doing so well. It's unbelievable. So I got 1,000 feet separation between these two guys. These two guys are going to make life very difficult. So I'm going to make sure not to make... Well, I'm going to hope we don't get missed approaches, but we got to be careful. There's a TBM. So Muse is going okay. I'm going to keep these lads on the 270 and then head them down. This guy coming in, need to do something because your man behind him is too close. So there's decent altitude between them.
Approach Firefly 308, 10 nautical miles east of Deegan at flight level 80. I get information Charlie for Deegan 2 Echo.
Firefly 308, Shannon approach identified. You're cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06. Report overhead Ulset.
Cleared for the ILS approach, runway 06, and report overhead Ulrid, Firefly 308.
And Firefly 308, just to confirm, the waypoint is Ulsit, Uniform Lima, Sierra India Tango. Good man,
affirmative, Uniform Lima, Sierra India Tango for Firefly 308.
Sweet.
Shannon approach, Firefly 306, 5 miles from Deegan at level 180.
Firefly 306, Shannon approach identified. Descend descend flight level 120. Turn right heading 310 degrees.
Descend flight level 120, turn right heading 310, 55306.
And Firefly 505, turn left, heading 250 degrees.
Turn left, heading 250 degrees, Firefly 505.
By the way, I would really recommend doing shared cockpit. Oh yes, Captain Butters, absolutely. Lads, if you're anyway rusty, be it on the ATC side or on the aircraft side, shared controls, 100%. That's the best way to go. You're buddying up with someone. You know what I mean? And like, even given an hour, you will learn more in that 1 hour. I absolutely guarantee you, you'll learn more in that 1 hour flying with someone else than you would watching multiple streamers' content. Like, you'll learn so much because you actually get to do it. Do you know what I mean? Streeter says, I'm down and mow the lawn for free. Apologies on first contact, barely hear you. Even up full, you were faint. Not sure, same settings. Streeter, don't worry. Like, once you're on vPilot, we won't have these issues. You did very, very well, dude. You did very, very well. There's a whole load of mad stuff happening here now. Where's 308 going? Oh no, he hasn't called me. Jesus, Murph. So he's heading up to 310. That's grand. We'll direct him in here now in a while. 505 has gone to 250. Muse should be calling me now to say he's established. Any second now.
Firefly 007 is established on the ILS.
Firefly 007, Roger, contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. Bye-bye.
Tower on 118.7, Firefly 007.
Good man yourself, Muse. And Firefly 207, turn left heading 250 degrees.
Turn left heading 250 degrees, Firefly 207.
Firefly 306, turn left heading 270 degrees, descend flight level 80.
Turn left heading 270, descend flight level 80, 55306.
Firefly 308, Shannon approach.
Firefly 308.
Did you give me a call already? I can't remember.
That's bad. No, I'm approximately 20 nautical miles from Ulsit.
Okay, so next time you got a call beforehand, but no bother. Your current altitude is 8,000, flight level 80. Maintain flight level 80 and report overhead Ulsit. And I want you to reduce speed to minimum approach speed, so the slowest you can go if possible.
Will code to stage flight level 80, minimum speed, and report overhead. All set for flight 308.
Good stuff. Thank you. All right, we're good. And Firefly 306, can you tell me what's your current indicated airspeed?
Firefly 306 is at 250 knots.
Roger. Reduce speed now to 220 knots.
220 knots, Firefly 306.
Right, we've got a 7.3, we have a TBM, and I think we have the last out of Dublin. Nice, that's an H320. Great stuff, Rambog. Absolutely great stuff. Right, how are we getting on here now? Firefly 007. Oh, Jesus.
Firefly 007 is at 4,000 feet going around.
Firefly 007, Roger. Turn right, heading 180 degrees. Climb and maintain flight level 80.
Turn to heading 180 degrees and climb to flight level 080, Firefly 007.
Dublin traffic, Firefly 406, overhead Peleg, flight level 4000 to Shannon, Diga to Delta, Dublin traffic.
Firefly 406, Shannon approach. So you said Dublin. We're not Dublin, we're Shannon. So it'll be Shannon approach. And you're not overhead Peleg. You're actually about 10 miles from Deegan. So your call will be this. You'll say Shannon approach, Firefly 406, 10 miles from Deegan. Give that a shot. Currently flying.
Firefly 406, flight level 40, 10 miles from Deegan, Dublin traffic.
Okay, so don't say Dublin traffic because we're in Shannon. So it's Shannon approach. That's the frequency you're talking to. You are identified. I want you to turn right 270 degrees and maintain 4,000 feet.
Turning right to 27 degrees, maintain 4,000 feet.
Firefly 505, turn left heading 240.
Turn left heading 240, Firefly 505.
Hello there, Viper Strike. Firefly 306, turn left heading 250.
Left 250, Firefly 306.
And Firefly 007, when able, left turn, direct T-Pour. I can vector you if you need it.
Would appreciate vectors, please. Firefly 007.
Firefly 007, no problem. Turn left heading 140. Maintain flight level 80.
Left to 140 and maintain flight level 080. Firefly 007.
Right, he's good. At 301, you need to give me a shout.
Shannon approach. Good evening. Firefly 301 is 3 miles from Deegan. Firefly 301.
Firefly 301, Shannon approach. Sorry, the airport is closed. I'm only joking. Shannon approach. You are cleared for the ILS approach. Runway 06. Descend to altitude 3,000 feet. QNH 1018. And report overhead ULCIT.
Cleared for the approach runway 06, QNH 1018, and descend to 3,000 feet. Report at ULCIT, Firefly 301.
And Firefly 505, turn left heading 160 degrees.
555, turn left heading 160 degrees, 55505.
Firefly 306, turn left now 190.
Left 190, 55306.
Firefly 007, left turn 040 degrees.
Left to 040, Firefly 007.
Alright, she's come together. Slowly but surely. We hope. We hope. It's all relatively calm. Which is, they're doing well, lads. This is what it's all about. It's the communication flow. But like, I'm proud as Punch here listening to everyone tonight. Like, absolutely incredible stuff, right? There's no bigger tool than Murph. You got that right. Wait, what? What time of day is it? We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Our last aircraft is already on the way. 003. Brilliant. Right, this is terribly tricky. So he's like 2 minutes out. Jesus. What's the ILS frequency? Shannon. ILS frequency approach for 06. ILS 06. 109.5. 056 degrees. Firefly 505. Left turn heading 060 degrees. You're cleared for the ILS approach. ILS frequency 109.5.
Turn left heading 60. Clear for approach. Approach frequency is 109.5. 55505.
So that's the ILS frequency if you want to try an ILS approach. If you don't, you can just do a visual and report when airport is in sight.
Yeah, I have set up the ILS, so I will do that. 55505.
Sweet. Okay, report when established on the localizer. BVN, good to see you.
Report when
BFN.
established on the localizer. 55505.
Firefly 207, left turn 180 degrees.
Left turn 180 degrees, Firefly 207.
And also Firefly 207, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
And also descend 3,000 feet, Firefly 207.
And Firefly 306, descend now, altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals.
Descend 4,000 QNH 1018, Firefly 306.
Firefly 308, Shannon approach.
Firefly 308.
Did you forget your call?
No, but I didn't want to stab anyone.
Over Ulset, no? Was he to call me back over it, no?
Fire.
Shannon approach Firefly 308.
Break, Firefly 505, contact Shannon Tower 118.7.
Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7, Firefly 505.
Yeah. Last aircraft calling, say again.
Firefly 308.
Firefly 308, go ahead.
Firefly 308 past Ulset, now 15 miles east of Terdu.
Firefly 308, roger, descend altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1011, and report overhead Terdu.
Descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1011, and report overhead Terdu, Firefly 308.
And Firefly 306, my mistake. You continue on as normal. I'll call you back in a moment. Just to confirm, you are at minimum approach speed.
That's affirmative for Firefly 306.
Sweet. Call you back in 2 minutes. Break, Firefly 207, left turn 060 degrees. Report when established on the localizer for runway 06.
Left turn 060 degrees. Report when on localizer, Firefly 207.
Firefly 007, left turn direct Deegan. Descend to... actually, cancel that. Just turn left to Deegan. That's going to be a heading of 290. Kinda.
Left turn to Deegan, heading 2900, Firefly 007.
Okay, this is going to get tricky. It's going to get very, very
Shannon
tricky.
approach, Firefly 301, overhead Ulset.
301, overhead Ulset. There you go. Assume. That's 308. That's a TBM. He's at 3,000. He's at 9,000. Firefly 301, roger. Turn right heading 270 degrees.
Right, 270, Firefly 301.
Okay, this should be fun. Jays is getting busy, lads. Where are we at now? Use 30 degrees intercepts, make it easier. Oh, good call. You're doing all right, Muse. And Firefly 007, can you do a direct to Ulset by any chance?
Direct to Ulset, Firefly 007.
Good man. And just report when overhead Ulset.
We'll report when overhead Ulset, Firefly 007.
Don't know who that guy is. This is going to be fairly tight. I need to space these guys a little bit. And Firefly 306, right turn 180 degrees.
Confirm that's right turn or left turn 180?
Sorry, left turn 180 degrees.
Left 180, Firefly 306.
The old brain is starting to go, me lads. 308, where are you going? He's okay. He's kind of okay.
Firefly 207, establish localizer.
Firefly 207, contact Shannon Tower 118.7. Bye-bye.
Contact Shannon Tower 118.7. Firefly 207.
Okay, let's see if this is going to work. And Firefly 306, left turn, direct LPOM And report when established on the localizer for runway 06.
Left turn direct Alpalm. We'll call when established, 55306.
Okie dokie. Firefly 308, Shannon approach. What's your current airspeed?
Current indicated airspeed is 130 for Firefly 308.
Firefly 308, roger, thanks. Okay, you're down at 3, you're at 4. 301. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Firefly 301, left heading 260 degrees.
Left to 260, Firefly 301.
Firefly 406, turn left heading 250 degrees. This is fun, isn't it, lads? You're learning some swear words. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm hoping this guy gets in just ahead of that guy, and then all shall be well in the realm. Firefly 406, Shannon approach. Firefly 406, Shannon approach. If you're on the frequency, you gotta listen. Jesus. 301 looking good. 308, so.
Firefly 406, Shannon approach. What's your message?
Okay, turn left heading 250 degrees.
Turning left to 250, Shannon approach. Firefly 406.
It's organized chaos. Wait, where's 505 going? He's good.
Firefly 308 overhead, Jerdu.
Firefly 308, roger. Continue approach. Report when established on the localizer.
Report when established on the localizer for Firefly 308.
This would be close. Let's see what happens. I could be very lucky or very unlucky.
Firefly 003, approximately 10 nautical miles east of Deegan, descending 10,000 to 8,000 flight level to A. Approach Diga to Echo. Firefly 003.
Firefly 003, Shannon approach identified. Can you advise your current airspeed?
$230 knots. Firefly 003.
Roger. Break. Firefly 007, Shannon approach.
Shannon approach, go ahead. Firefly 007.
What's your out airspeed there, Muse?
Current airspeed 230 knots. Firefly 007.
Ran. Going to try a curveball. Increase speed 250 knots.
Up to 250 knots. Firefly 007.
Break. Firefly 003. Reduce speed 220 knots. You are cleared for the ILS approach. Runway 06. Report when overhead ulset.
Firefly 003. Reduce speed 220 knots. Report over ulset. Firefly 003. And we'll do the approach for runway 06. Firefly 003.
It should be interesting.
Firefly 306, established 06.
Firefly 306, roger. Contact Shannon Tower, 118.7. Bye-bye.
118.7, Firefly 306.
Firefly 308, Shannon approach. Maintain your current heading. Expect vectors.
Maintain current heading, expect vectors, Firefly 308.
Little bit too close there, lads, weren't they? I mean, I wasn't far off it, but a little bit too close. And Firefly 301, Shannon approach. Turn left heading 180 degrees.
Left to 180, Firefly 301.
I'm losing 406. Firefly 406, Shannon approach.
Fireflies 406, pass your message.
What's your current heading? Hey, Captain Arash. Good to see you.
250, current heading, Fireflies 406.
Okay. Turn left heading 190.
Turn left heading 190, Fireflies 406.
Oh, 308 turned when he shouldn't have, but that's okay. Firefly 308, report when established. Now that could be just this gadget breaking, I don't know.
Firefly 308 is established with the localizer.
Firefly 308, roger, contact Shannon Tower on 118.7.
Contact Tower 118.7, Firefly 308.
Jeez, that's going to be close. Sorry, Gibbo, that's going to be shocking close. It could be grand, but like, you know.
Firefly 003 request descent to 6,000 from 8,000.
Firefly 003, negative, maintain flight level 80 and report overhead ulset.
Roger, will be maintaining their flight level 80 and will report over ulset.
Firefly 007, descend altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals.
Down to 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals, Firefly 007.
Firefly 301, left direct LPOM, report when established on the localizer.
Left direct LPOM and report when established on localizer, Firefly 301.
Firefly 406, turn left heading 180 degrees.
Sorry, was that for Fireflies 406?
It was. Firefly 406, turn left heading 180 degrees.
Turning left to 180 degrees, Fireflies 406.
How's Gibbo going to get on with these lads? I reckon he'd be grand. Or maybe he won't. Jesus.
Firefly 007 reporting just over Ulsa.
Firefly 007, roger, continue approach. Report when overhead Turdu.
Continue approach, will report when overhead Turdu, Firefly 007.
Okay, so he's descending, he's going okay. 301 is going to be heading in, he'll get established first. 406. Why is that giving me an indication that he's moving away? Could be just multiplayer. The guys in front, 80 plus knots, yeah, should be grand. He'd be Dr. No landing, love it. Captain Rash, how are you, my dude? Thank you so very much indeed for the sub. 36 months, man. Thank you very much. We're doing all right. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Yous are doing very well tonight, lads. I have to say now, yous are doing very, very well, right? So 308 and 301. Yeah, so far so good. I think Rambog is cleared out of Dublin. He's probably sitting back having a beer now. All is good, Rash. All is good, man. Gibbo is pro. No problemos. Gibbo is on fire. Just don't tell him that. Right, here comes Muse. And Firefly 007, reduce speed, final approach speed.
Reduced to final approach speed, Firefly 007.
Let's see what happens. So we should get 301 established, then we're going to get Firefly 003. And Firefly 003, you can descend now, altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018 hectopascals.
Firefly 003 descending to 3,000 feet, QNH. Can you repeat the QNH? Sorry, Muff.
Yeah, 1018.
1018. Firefly 003.
Muse is booting it. I wish. You're chilling though. You're grand. Great job tonight, Rambog. And again, lads, look, we're not actual controllers. We leave that for VATSIM. We're just trying to help. We're sharing what we know. That's all we're doing. We're sharing what we know. So, like, don't expect this to be, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a limit to what we can all do. Except for Gippo, he's very handy. But outside of that, well, except for Rambog, he's very handy. Me, on the other hand, no, not handy. I'm only trying to share what I know. So, yeah, don't take anything I say as verbatim. But there's a bit of crack here, look. This is looking all right. Jesus, I might actually manage to do a thing. Huh? Brilliant. Isn't it great? It is great to see this side of the scope though, isn't it? So Muse is moving in nicely. 406, we will get him in next. I reckon we'll get him in before 303. So Muse will give me a shout over Turdu. 301 is going to give us a shout when he's established. So the spacing here is going to be so-so. So-so. It does the tones. Okay, 308 is doing good. 301 is going to give us a shout when he's established. Do you ever see? I've never played them, those online ATC things. I've heard of them. ATC Madness or...
Firefly 003 over LSET.
Firefly 003, Roger. Continue approach. Report when overhead Turdu. T-E-R-D-U. Turdu.
Firefly 003 will report over Turdu. Firefly 003.
Shannon approach, Firefly 301 established on the localizer.
Firefly 301, thank you. Contact Shannon Tower 118.7. Bye-bye.
Over to 118.7. Bye-bye.
Good man yourself, Naughty Gnome. Jesus, he was good. That's the first time he's done this with us. Very, very good, isn't he? The bleeding legend. The ledge. That was his first... This is his first outing. That's really, really good. Okay, 003 is booting it. That's okay. 406 is kind of booting it now as well, which is good. Firefly 406, turn left heading 140 degrees.
Fireflies 406, turn left to 140 degrees.
Okay. Firefly 003, can you report current airspeed? Yeah, that's okay, Muse.
Firefly 003 at 220 knots. Firefly 003.
Thank you. Firefly 003, reduce speed now to 200 knots.
What reduce speed to 200 Firefly 003.
Firefly 007, continue approach. Report when established on the localizer for runway 06.
Continue approach will report when established on the localizer for runway 06. Firefly 007.
Large Alive, how'd you get on, mate? Did you enjoy it? And again, lads, it's between, if you're a Group B tonight, between tonight and next Monday, just read over the manual. Nothing else. Look back in this stream as well, especially at the first part when you heard the guys on VATSIM, but just read over the manual. Just read down to the last lesson that we did with the full script, and it'll help. It'll absolutely help. Okay, so Muse will shout now when he's clear. 406 is inbound. Not sure I'm going to get him in first, though, because I think 003 is going to get in there ahead of him. We should be good. We should be good. No, good to see it. Time for a very large nightcap, right? Jesus, what speed is he doing? He's in a TBM, right? It won't give me a speed. Sure it won't. He's absolutely booting it, though. I'll leave him alone. Well, if he's below 10,000 feet, like he shouldn't be going more than 250. But anyway, are we doing this flight on VATSIM next Monday? Yes, Eamon, the very same flight, Dublin to Shannon. We're going to use that as the foundation or the benchmark, if you like, and we kind of build it from there. You know what I mean? Firefly 406, Shannon approach.
Sorry, did you say 406? Shannon approach?
I did. What's your current airspeed?
217 knots.
270 or 217?
217. Apologies.
That's okay. No bother. Continue on. This should be tricky. 217. Jeez, he's moving fairly fast for 217. Firefly 406, reduce speed 170 knots.
Firefly 406, reducing speed 170 knots.
Johnny 5, good to see you. You'll be directing them to fly into each other. Nah, is that just grand? We'll just give it the headache. It's easier when the plane doesn't CTD in you. Absolutely. Yeah, enjoyed the PC12. I recently purchased 1-year license to PMS GTN 750, so it helped a lot. Nice. Great news, Larger Life. Great news. Muse.
Firefly 003, approximately 3 nautical miles from Teradu.
Roger, continue approach. Break Firefly 007.
Firefly 007, go.
Did you forget a left turn there?
I'm turning.
When established, you can contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. We'll see you.
Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7 when established. Firefly 007. Yeah.
Alright, he's alright. And Firefly 003, reduce speed, final approach speed.
Firefly 003, approach, reducing speed to final approach speed.
Firefly 406, reduce speed 130 knots.
Firefly 406, reducing to 130 knots.
You didn't give Muse another go around, give it, did you? Go around. Did Muse go around again? You're joking. Oh, not yet. There's still time. There's still time. Muse, you're a country mile off. You need to turn a bit, mate. There's Naughty Gnome in. Beautifully done, Naughty Gnome. Get back in there quick, Muse. No one saw it. It's grand. Don't worry about it. Jesus. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Stupid plane. Say nothing. It's grand. Just get in there. Say nothing. You'll be all right. This is going to be a little bit tight here, so I'll have to do something. We should be okay. And Firefly 406, right turn 180 degrees. There was no shenanigans. What are you talking about?
Firefly 406, right turn 180 degrees.
This is going to be interesting. It's a little bit tight now. Well, if Muse didn't do that, let's go the long way around, we'd have been laughing. It's grand, Muse, don't worry about it. Let's get down quick, will you? Ah, Jesus. Stupid plane. Okay, we're nearly there. I'm sitting here very nicely. How could you suggest such a thing? Oh, there's all sorts of new words being invented in Muse's house, I'd say. It should be grand. Larger Life. Flying tonight, yeah. Well done, Larger Life. Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. Jesus. Alright. Come on, Muse. You got it fixed. On yourself.
Firefly 003, establish on a localizer.
Jesus. Okay, hang on. What's the distance? Oh, they're very close. They're shocking close. Firefly 003, reduce speed, final approach speed. Contact Shannon Tower, 118.7.
Firefly 0303 ready on the final approach speed. Well contaction on tower Firefly 003. Bye.
Bye. Slow it right down. Jesus, now this is going to be. They only look like little names on the screen, right? Why isn't this working? Brighten it up there now, Pat. Oh, that's brighten it up, Murphy. Brighten the thing up. We need to see what's happening. Right. Now, lads, I reckon there's sufficient space between them. It mightn't look that way, but I reckon there is, right? So there's Muse, but nothing to worry about at all, right? What's that button? Why is that coming up? So there's Muse, right? I know me sim looks like it looks like something out of, I don't know, Star Trek or something. Right. Now let's see what's going to happen here, right? Gibbo's going to swing for me. Gibbo's getting a workout now tonight, I can tell you. Oh, they're very, very close. Oh, Jesus, they're very close. Firefly 406, left turn 030 degrees.
Firefly 406, left turn 130 degrees.
Negative, left turn 030 degrees.
Left turn 030 degrees.
It's a full 3 nautical mile. Josh would be proud, right? I think he would. I hope he would. I reckon he's okay. Like it's like, Muse, will you just go faster or something? And like, Muse, whatever Gibbo tells you to get off the runway, like, you know, high speed or something. Be grand. Oh, Jesus, they're very close, look. Ah, Jesus, they're very close. Oh, there's going to be a go around here and he's not going to be happy. Will there though? I don't know. You can see a lot of stars in Ireland, you can. No pressure now, Muse, right? Just, Jesus, he's coming in sideways with the wind, look. Oh dear. Sorry, Gibbo. Gibbo, vacate him on Alpha there, will you? Or like somewhere along. Firefly 007. Expect vacate at Alpha. It'd be brilliant, right? Are the star sim effects? No, they're default. I just haven't turned up with the exposure settings. That looks probably a little bit better. That's more realistic, actually. Right, this is going to be hilarious because there is a wild Muse fan, right? And there's going to be like butter here. There better be, right? Look at the state of this. Jesus. Ah no! Iceman is just there. Oh, this is. What do we reckon, lads? What do we reckon? You should have heard what you just said. He'd be grand! Touchdown! Muse is down! Brilliant! The absolute ledge! Never doubted you for a split second. You'll never get off at Alpha. You'll never get off at Alpha. Don't even. Don't try it, Muse. She can go to the next one. High speed taxi, Muse. Just right. Muse, pedal up now. Quick. He's 700 feet. Ah, no. This is too close to call. This is too close to call. Muse is trying to move over in the bed for him. Come on, Muse. High speed. Get down there to Charlie. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, it's a go around. I don't believe you. It's a go around. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Who's not here that I can blame? 303 is going to be me. Firefly 406. Direct LPOM and report when established on the localizer, and you can descend altitude 3,000 feet.
Apologies, can you please repeat that? Firefly 406.
Firefly 406, direct LPOM Report when established on the localizer and descend altitude 3,000 feet.
Firefly 406, descending 3,000 feet, direct APALM. What was the other one?
Report when established on the localizer. King J, good to see
And
you.
report when established on the localizer. Firefly 406.
Shannon approach, Firefly 003, gone must.
Firefly 003, roger. Left turn, direct Turdu. Descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet. QNH 1018.
Left and director do Firefly 003.
This should be fun. 3 right turns you can do. It'll be grand. Do we send Murphy our fuel bills?
Firefly 03, can I get the vectors, please?
Firefly 003, turn left heading 270.
Turn left in 270, Firefly 003.
This guy ain't going to get established. King J, hope you're well, man. Do. Okay, we're nearly in, lads. We are nearly in. You're not going to get established out there. Well, you might. You might. Unlikely, though. What do you think, lads? I'm not sure what the weather at home is like, but in Ireland the air is blue. Wait, what? It's fine as long as he's down to 300, he should capture. He should capture. He should capture. Okay, so 003. He needs to get down to 3,000 feet. And Firefly 003, descend altitude 3,000 feet, turn left heading 250 degrees.
Turn left heading 250 degrees, altitude 3,000 feet.
Alpam is a bit far away. It's kind of far away, yeah. Tis a little bit far away, all right, but sure, still. Hopefully he gets turned in and all will be well in the round. There are our last 2 guys to get in, so let's have a look again here now. What's the sim doing? Yeah, he's out there. Why is he descending? He should be at 3,000. Interesting. I was below the glide slope at Alpam at 4,000. Yeah, that's okay. Again, like if ATC, they could tell you to get down to 3,000, and like depending on where you are, that could be miles off the glide slope. You could be miles below it. Do you know what I mean? So they'll keep you at that altitude until you capture, you know, you're fully established. So there's... Right, so he should get established shortly. So he's going to be grand. He'll capture it roughly here, and then he's good. Yeah, he should be grand. Englewood, dude, you take care of my dude. Have a pleasant evening. We're almost done as well, lads. So, as I said, like, massive congratulations for the Group A lads tonight. Absolutely incredible. They flew on VATSIM. They absolutely nailed it. It was brilliant. And then we had the guys on Group B. Some really, really powerful, strong flying tonight. Great, you know, radio telephony, voice procedure, all of that really, really well. 1 or 2 small things to work on, I think, until next week. Those of you who know, you know how you're fixed for next week, because on VATSIM, you heard it tonight, like there's not a lot of room for maneuvering. I mean, you either know it or you don't, you know. If you jump on expecting, you know, if you feel that you're not 100%, they'll figure that out fairly quick, you know. But let's see what happens here. So he should be calling very soon. He's going to be calling very soon. Well, actually, I have to vector him in. Should be good though. Should be good. I say poor old Gilbert now is in a hoop. What time do you call this, Murphy? Now let's have a look. Shannon approach is now offline over on VATSIM. Again, massive shout out to the VAT Air guys. Absolutely class tonight, lads. Absolutely class. Everything's now turned off over.
Shannon Tower, Fireflies 406, established on the localizer, runway 6.
Firefly 406, Roger. Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. Firefly 406, contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. Oh dear. Firefly 003. Turn left heading 180 degrees. Report when established on the localizer.
Turning left 180 degrees. Will report on establishment of the localizer. Firefly 003.
Dee 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 dee. Okay, so he should give us a shout when established. He should be on to Gibbo. Let's have a listen.
Firefly 406, affirm, continue approach, runway 06.
That was Gibbo.
Fireflies 406, Roger.
Well, I won't have Murph slowing me to approach speed 30 miles out. Muse, it was grand, right? You would have landed perfectly. What happened? How did you get the go around? What caused the go around? Who can you blame? Who can you give out to? Yeah, it was their fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Right? Now, how are we getting on here? Look. Yeah, we're doing well, lads. We're doing well. Last couple of aircraft due in. Like, that's, like, we're almost there. So hopefully 003 will get belted in. Super Tie, stomach is calling. Jay Booth, I think you could have got it down. No, well, if it wasn't stable, it wasn't stable. I'm just trying to figure out where did the call come in from, you know?
55003, establish on a localizer.
Firefly 003, Roger. Contact Shannon Tower on 118.7. Bye-bye.
Contacting Shannon Tower 118.7. Thanks for that ATC.
Yeah. So the lights, if you're in drone camera mode, you can actually adjust the exposure. If you press and hold, I think it's the Y button or the Y key on your controller, and then just use the shoulder bumpers. You can do all this sort of wonderful, weird stuff. Looks mad, doesn't it? Jesus. Go on, you devil. Get in there now.
Oh, Jesus.
Get it down. Get it down. Jeez. Is he down? Oh, Jesus. Is he not down? Now he's down. Jesus. Where did he land? That's an efficient use. Efficient use of the runway to get an early exit, I suppose. Nothing wrong with that. Good stuff, man. All right, Iceman inbound. It all comes down to this. He paid for the runway. He can use it all. The go around was because he gave me a very late descent. Ended up too far high in the approach. What'd you get out of it? Did you were you established on the localizer? Oh wait, could you get established on the localizer, Muse? Or was it that you had to be vectored in? I can't remember. Anyway, if you're trying to blame me, you're doing the right thing. Blame me. Always blame me. Easy thing to do, right? I'll blame someone else. Don't worry. Okay, last aircraft due in. Excellent stuff. It's been some crack, lads, hasn't it? Right, Iceman, it's all up to you. No pressure now at all. You couldn't get established, you were too high. Where are we at? 4,000? There we go. I see Model Matching doing a great job in the sim. Well done, Sim. Okay, Iceman. It says in the A320N. I wonder, is that the fly-by-wire? Gotta be the gin again. It is. Nice. Okay, he's looking good. Good approach. A little bit high, I think, from this angle. A little bit high. There will be butter. We're hoping for butter.
I put the car in swinger, baby.
Jesus, what's happening? There's distractions coming in here from every angle. What in the name of Jesus? Go on, Iceman, you devil, get in! Rambog, you crazy person! God almighty, 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Did you just see what he did? Rambog, dude, thank you very much indeed. Absolutely no need, but thank you. Very kind. Oh no, did he land or did he smash? Iceman, did you make it or did you... Ah, jeez. I mean, it was looking alright, wasn't it? Here lies an Iceman. Hey. Smash no gears. I don't know. Think he smashed. It looks smashed, doesn't it? Naughty Gnome says, Murph and Rambog and Gibbo, thank you for tonight. I'll be honest that was it was an insanely hard flight. My autopilot was all in a hoop, LNAV randomly disconnecting, VNAV ignoring stuff all over the place, but all credit to you. While I was dealing with all the stuff, the radio comms was natural and just sort of happened. Having practiced and done it lots of times, thanks to you, it allowed me to aviate. Thank you again. Looking forward to next week's check ride. Awesome, awesome stuff. Dude, brilliant stuff. Yeah. What happened? Hermit something, no gears. I don't know. Iceman, hang on, we'll jump in.
Oh god. Well, the emergency services are on their way then, Firefly 003. Evacuate.
Firefly 003. Jesus, we have a plaque put up for you here in the hangar. It looks lovely. Oh dear. Was it the dreaded landing gear? It happens. But listen, don't worry about it. I think that's the last one in as well. Just saying, look, if a gear up landing, sure, it wouldn't be us unless, someone did it. But don't let that take away from tonight, Iceman. That was great flying. That was great ATC as well. You've come on leaps and bounds, so well done, dude. Right.
I think you actually did evacuate.
I think you did. Jeez. Right, that's everyone in, Gibbo, was it?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Well, that was a laugh. They did very well.
Here. Everybody did amazing. Oh my god, everybody did amazing. I think we're ready, dude.
I think so, dude. I think so. Like, I mean, the Group A lads tonight was absolutely incredible. And then the Group B lads tonight, I mean, they've just proved they can do this. They got this. They absolutely got this.
Yeah.
So, it's been...
I'm very proud of them. They all did amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely brilliant. Even Muse fan. Even Muse, you know.
Poor Al Muse. Again. Although it was his own doing, to be fair. I didn't even tell him to go around.
That's what I heard. Nothing got to do with me at all. It wasn't my fault. You know. But Rambog was here as well. You had a job getting everyone out of Dublin, and we had some fun on approach. And then, of course, Gibbo, like a boss, got them all in, including the very tight ones. I was trying to horse them in together. But it was really, really good tonight. Everyone has done very, very well. And yeah, I mean, next week, that's it. This is the last group, straight onto VATSIM, and lots of fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Group A lads, just amazing. Like, massive congratulations. You've done so good. Group B, just the difference between the last week and today. Like, your RT is really good. Your flying is also really good. Like, it could have been on the network today. That's my overall feeling of it.
Yeah, I 100%
Yeah,
agree.
I just echo that real quick. Murph, I mean, do you remember your first VATSIM flight? I mean, you feel 10 feet tall, don't you, after, because it's just such an achievement. So really well done to the Group A guys. They did phenomenal. It was fantastic to hear them, and there was a little tear in my eye, you know, of being proud of them all. They did amazing, and you know, to hear company as well. So a group of Fireflies there on VATSIM was just brilliant.
That was
and
deadly.
as Rambog said, like Adam pinged me as well, saying that the quality, you know, was massive tonight, and he was dead proud too. So yeah, I can't really say more than that, except really well done to everybody. I can't wait for next week when we all get to have a go.
Absolutely. And again, it's like, I mean, we had the advantage of hearing other folks on VATSIM tonight as well, and like our guys, the day and night and the difference in terms of their confidence and getting the radio telephony down, like getting the phrasing done right. And I would hope that, you know, the controllers tonight, they'd be at ease now, knowing that once they hear Firefly Air as a call sign, they're going to be relatively comfortable that, you know, we know what we're doing. So yeah, I think now for anyone who is on the Group B for tonight, you have a week, right? This is where we got to focus. We got to really put a bit of time in. If you're weak in any of the areas, which you're okay to be, I mean, look, that's why we train and that's why we practice. But this is definitely a reason now, over the next couple of days, get reading the ground school manual or the document, you know, get in a couple of practice flights, and if you can, try and do some shared controls as well. It makes a huge impact, massive impact. And of course, anyone who flew tonight on Group A, well, of course, you guys are more than welcome to come back and fly with us next week as well. I think we had 6 or 7 fly tonight. We're expecting probably everyone 15 to 20 next week on VATSIM. I'll put out a post on Discord because we'll have to probably plan slot times because we can't have everyone leaving at the same time. So we might have 2 blocks, if you like. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks to the guys at VAT Air for Part A, or for Group A, and to Gibbo and Rambog for Part B. Lads, as always, thank you so very much indeed for all the support you're giving us with ATC and all the stuff in the background. Like, they have to put up with me. Do you know what I mean? So as always, lads, thank you very, very much indeed. Sweet.
Pleasure. It was great to play a small part in it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to uninstalling your scope.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and I'm the opposite. I'm looking forward to hopefully starting S1 training later this year. So,
oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And again, like, it's amazing what your flight sim can open up. You know what I mean? Go back 6 months ago, we were saying, yeah, we're going to do IFR stuff. No, we're not. We're going to land upside down, you know, into a barn. we'll do that as well. But yeah, the ATC stuff definitely gives you an itch that you want to scratch. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of fun. So yeah, kudos guys, or kudos. Well done to Group A, well done to Group B, and awesome stuff as always to Gibbo and Rambog, and of course the lads from VAT Air as well. They gave us a real treat tonight, giving us so much coverage, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So lads, that's it. I'm back to you tomorrow night. We have a flight in a DC-3, no less, ICE pilots. So we're going to be flying up in the Northwest Territories. We're going to be taking off out of Yellowknife. We're going to head down to Hay River and onwards then for a couple of more jobs in our beloved DC-3. So that's kicking off tomorrow at 1900 Zulu. Next week we'll have the second VATSIM flight. And if anyone has any questions or worries or whatever, well, let us know over on Discord. We'll get it sorted during the week. So, from me to you, thank you all so very, very much for flying in tonight. Hold your heads high, Group A. You did an absolute brilliant job. And for the Group B lads, it's all ahead of us. You're going to nail it. It's going to be great. So, good luck to you, and thanks. B, don't be that curious. It's not, no. Oh.